Hello there, everybody. Hope you're having a very good night tonight. Dramatic music happening in the background. I'll give you a few seconds just to adjust the volume to see if, say, I'm too loud, Twitch is too quiet, everyone's too quiet. Whatever you've got your thing set to, let's sort that one out, huh? Honestly, it's been a pretty good day for me. The whole thing just kind of flew past. Like, woke up a little late, but not in a bad way. Logged in, did regular stuff, like the first few minutes of the workday from bed and my phone. You know, like checking old emails, seeing who's online, figuring out what you're going to do next. Day planning. The stuff responsible people do, like, the night before. No. No. The less we give employers, the better. Which is, you know, a bit mercenary at times. But I've been told on multiple occasions that they are happy with the output I do and my attitude towards work. Good. You're currently listening to the Pillars of Eternity soundtrack because it means I don't have to have the game open the whole time during the waiting menu. I think it's pretty good. But, like, other than that slow start, I just got stuck into work and then managed to clear away the biggest task that we had. To put it in a good state when we're doing a task rotation tomorrow and I won't be responsible for it anymore. And I like that. I think it is good to give work, like, if someone's going to be responsible for it, I want them to be only responsible from smallest amount possible from the day tomorrow. What comes in tomorrow? Not all this stuff I didn't get to. It's not very fair. And that was good. There are some other things I'll get to as well. Oh. And over lunchtime, I sat down, played some Ring Fit. Well, sit down. Got into exercise gear and exercised for an hour and had my first fail, which is crazy. Put it on shuffle mode for one battle, a significantly difficult battle, and I did not have any didn't have any shakes. Or the shuffle mode is not particularly effective. It does not choose appropriate or most thought through. It literally does target a random enemy with a random exercise movement. So it had me very efficiently doing squats on things that were mostly immune to squat damage. Very strange thing to say out loud. And I just got beaten down by the 5 of them, and that was kind of disappointing. I'd already been exercising for 40 minutes, so I didn't decide to do admittedly quite long mission again. I was just like, fuck it, I'll come back. But hey, if there's a signpost or waystone that's like the first time Jimbles did not successfully complete a mission, that's good. I also edited the settings so it makes me complete the set even if the enemy I'm using, the ability I'm using has already killed the enemy I'm fighting. So everything takes longer, everything is harder. It is fucking me up and I'm loving it. I heard a certain member of or fan of the stream is getting their own copy, and I'm hoping to share my Ring Fit like stats as an inspiration or some way to have some friendly competition that I will win and no doubt make someone sad. Other than that, a pretty good day, you know? I shouldn't admit too much, but Emma Stitches is on leave, and it's really nice to see you're getting a bit of a break from, you know, work being difficult and all. Like, it's good to recommend if you can take a break, take it, especially if you need it. You gotta treat your body and your mind with kindness and do only what is comfortable and you're capable of without guilt. I'm bad at that, by the way. Like, the whole laissez-faire. Hey, there you go, Emma. The laissez-faire attitude to work is more not just a recognition of the personal politics, but it's also a reminder that I need to do that. That when I don't hold myself back, I try really hard. Hey, thanks, Luxy. I appreciate the subscription. Really kind. If I don't actively tell myself not to work too hard, I do, and then I burn myself out, and then I get sad, and the anxiety ratchets up, and it's just a bad scene. We don't want it, so I'm not going to do it. Not good for anyone. It's not good for the workplace to suddenly have me go, shit, he needs to disappear. So instead, we work at the sustainable level, which is what I currently do. And then I check in all the time to make sure that it's fine. And guess what? It is. Hell yeah. Should I get a coffee because I can get away with it? No one told me no, including me. Oh, no. Don't worry, Emma. You're doing very helpful and very useful household tasks while I'm entertaining people on the internet. I'll hold you back. Now, Luxie, I believe I owed you at least a brief update as to what's happening in Vampire. Got on the monitor capture. Lose my beautiful face unless I put the webcam over the top. Still. So I did not get too far between last week and now. I spoke to the writer Muchava a couple of times on Twitter. Always feel weird doing that because I'm seeking out someone I like and then asking for attention. And that's not amazing. I don't want anyone to feel awkward. But I just needed to say, hey, by the way, your writing was really good. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I also had a very lovely discovery that Kyle Marquis is the author of Genius of Transgression, which I see as the high watermark of New World of Darkness, not Chronicles of Darkness. Complicated. Fan supplements. Genius was very well written. It's well envisaged, and I think it works. And I also think it's very funny that Onyx Path kind of needed to take the idea of Mad Scientist and go instead to the experiments with Deviant the Renegade. There's more in Genius, just pay Kyle enough, right? It would happen. It would be fine. Anyway, we got up to here, which is not super far. Like, we're speaking to Prince Leto. We've had the initial conversation. I'm trying to decide what I do. I think my big node is going to be a Camarilla standby. Something, the Tremere, going to be a Camarilla standby. I was very, very hungry, but since I'm not a willpower clown and I have more than one, I was able to just spend a willpower dot to ignore hunger for a scene and talk like rationally to Prince Leto instead of walking up and saying blood, blood. Also, the white, the Nosferatu white, Dove Sire, you don't have to kill it. Somehow, Aya just managed to do it. It's not mandatory. I thought it was. I thought it was the introduction, but no. I ran away. I saved the entire migrant, like that whole family, and then left. Blood magic. I used blood magic to make sure they couldn't remember it either, so we have 0 masquerade violations, even though I tried to eat them twice. That's funny. That's very funny. Vampire's still on my mind, and I will come back to this later. Not just because... Yeah, and I want to play more of it, I definitely will, but... I got something. Oh, you can't quite see it. Hold on. Let me elaborate. Coteries in New York is an actual visual novel. I don't think it's voiced, though. We can give that a go at some point, maybe as a break. I super enjoyed being a visual novel reader so much. I think it was great, and once I finish Pillars of Eternity, I do not know if that will become a new niche for me, because holy shit was it good, right? I'll do that again. Citrus had a good point that perhaps having a visual of some sort other than just the text is good. So there's more visual novels? Especially if they're not voice acted? That sounds good to me. They got their own music? Yeah, love it. Hello. Stop this music. You will get the other Pillars music in just a... No, I gotta remember that it doesn't need the music. I also wanted to note I had to take Wednesday last week off to finish a assignment, and I don't like doing it because especially for people who have subscribed, I do owe you at least something, right? Maybe a little. What we owe to each other is a massive philosophical question we're not going to delve into, especially. I struggled enough trying to make a sociology class work, for fuck's sake. Anyway. It's submitted. It's also been reviewed, and I think it's pretty good. I expect a pass, and that's all I really want. Thank you for giving me the Wednesday night back too. It was hard. It was rough. I mentioned on Monday. Backtrack. On Tuesday night, before I met up with a good friend. Right now, but I just used a coping mechanism or a tactic that really cannot be. Yes, Emma, it does. Wear it. It's not a coping mechanism I can use repeatedly. Also, something I don't want to become a habit. But I just sat at a bar and ordered a pint, and then drank the pint, and then wrote the essay, or at least good enough that it broke through. I've described it a couple of times to some very lovely friends, including a VTuber who is making her debut again. Look out for Erica Ouroboros. Yeah, probably. That should help. Yeah, and I can do the attack a bit lower too, so it stays open a little bit longer. Let me confirm that. I've described the days when my anxiety is acting worse, right? As like filters, edit filters, as like it feels like my brain is spending 90% of its processing power on saying shitty things and not being actually very useful at all. And that means that like open threshold. Yeah, that should do it. That should very much help and keep it open for a little bit longer. 300. Yeah. That should be easier. Thanks, Lexi. And we do need to adjust those noise gates because they're kind of specific. And boy, is it hot in here because Emma's turned the heater on. Hold on while I strip for you. Right. Yeah. I know you like that. You saw a nip knot. Oh, God, I'm fired. Oh, well. I am going to be demonetized entirely. But you're welcome. What was I saying? Jesus. It's too distracted by taking off my own jumper. Winter, man. It's cold all the time, except when you're home and appropriately dressed. Then it's just too fucking hot. That's me. Manic. We can go visit the deck of many things and see if there's anything new. It has been a while, so it's worth investigating. I think I was saying thank you for letting me know about the noise gate because it's one of those things that you only get right once you've got a lot of practice. Draw eyelashes or hair, but yeah, it's not a female presenting nipple. It's fine. And we're not attacking the deck of many things at the moment. That's asking for trouble. What else? Yeah, so I wrote the assignment that way, and it was successful, and it felt good. But clearly, that's not an effective way to go forward all the time, because otherwise, I'm gonna. That way leads to functional alcoholism, and I like making a drink and having a drink, but I sure don't like relying on substances to get through your regular day. He says, drinking a coffee, medicated with pain pills, because that's what I need to get through life. Like, it's a bit hypocritical, but it certainly is funny. University news today. I had trouble with one of the lecturers. I could tell he was trying very hard. He was sending out like emails that had the information.
And welcome, amico.
The plump dwarf bows low, hands outstretched either side. Like, he was sending out information, things that you could find yourself because they're on the website.
Might I interest you in a new cloak? I will fetch.
Like, it's on the course page, but he's sending it out just in case you didn't see it, or like, here's how it relates. So, like, that's useful. That's good. But a little annoying, especially when it happened up to 7 times a day. Sir, please. Stop emailing me or the entire class, not me specifically, in the class 7 times a day. I cannot. This is too much. Each of them make my wrist, this is not your fault, each of them make my wrist go buzz. Please stop. Not everything makes my wrist go buzz, but emails do, because oftentimes they are more important when no spam is doing it. Anyway, but I could tell he was trying. In his lectures, he was very dry. Like, very, very dry. Just kind of reading out the text that didn't seem to be as excitable or interesting as some of the other ones. Especially one of the other ones that I really enjoyed, Kim, at my university. And I'm not going to give you the university's name at the moment because that just seems a little mean. I don't like making fun of someone who's having a bad day. Basic things are included on the unit page, yeah, exactly. You know? But I could tell he was doing it because he wanted to help. This unit is group work, and he specifically built the groups for us. He did not say, okay, you have to make your groups yourself, which honestly makes sense from group work perspective. It kind of makes sense that someone would just be like, all right, form yourself into groups, good luck. Because that's a trial by fire kind of teaching, and I understand you're in university now, friends. That's how it goes. Like, I get it. But he specifically was like, no, it's all good. I'll put you into groups and you can work it out from there. Let me know if anything goes wrong, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, two people were left not out of a group, but in a group by themselves. Most other groups had 2 to 4, like 3 to 4 or 5 people. These two, who I was originally with until he moved me for whatever reason, were just themselves. And they started working amongst themselves, but they were also like, this doesn't feel good to be on ourselves. Well, I feel like everyone else is getting ahead. So they worked together and lodged a complaint. They approve of lodging complaints, especially against authority members when they're causing trouble. No one gets a free pass for no reason. That's bullshit, right? The lecturer, he receives a complaint and types out a very long email on Sunday night that's like, I'm trying to do all these things to help, and now you've taken it upon yourselves to complain, and I don't like this because... Oh, no. Do not do that. Do not respond to a formal complaint in person. Don't email people on a Sunday night like that. That's insane. What are you doing? Step on it. So we get an email from the head of the university, or at least, yeah, I actually think it is the head of the entire university. And he's like, so that was bad. Sorry about that. We've put a new lecturer in charge. We've put a new lecturer in charge. He'll take over the class tomorrow. And he's spending some time looking through all of the things, like, listed, so that he has a greater understanding of what's going on right about now. So that he can answer a few questions. That's a hell of a thing, I'd say. Shot himself in the foot, indeed. Like, I feel for him. He was certainly just trying to help, but he went about it in such a bad way that it meant that he got shit canned. The poor fuck. got himself fired. And I guess that's why I recommend, like, don't respond to extra damage on empowered. Oh, damage and penetration, perfect. So we'll empower Fireball, delayed Fireball, and blow some up. Don't respond to a complaint like that.
Can I borrow a sword? I promise to be careful.
Honestly, don't respond to a
Finding everything to your liking, Captain. I sell the nothing but the best aboard the
deck of endless possibilities. Draw a card. Well, we've got to do that. That's got to be awful. Let's do it. One's a valiant Aderian Knight. The power of money. Hit to crit chance based on the party's current wealth. Wow. That's pretty funny. That's pretty good. We're not near allies. Impoverished. Extra resolve when you're poor. So there was one clarifying thing that was very useful. Time is rewound. 3 charges. Okay. Use it and it will. Okay. You may hear something in the background, hopefully not too loud. 3 saves from death. That's not terrible. Summon the Shade. So you can get fool's shoes and a fool's hat. Wear both of them at the same time. Hilarious. Probably not something we're going to do. Gotta get a deck of many things. From the deck of many things. The clarification that the new lecturer sent out was like, it says you require 15 sources for this presentation you're doing in 4 weeks, right? I wanted to confirm it's 15 sources in person. In total, not per person. Okay. Thank you. I'm amazed it took us this long to figure that out. Because that's a pretty important distinction, isn't it? 15 sources per page, 15 sources per slide, 15 sources per person? What is it? The answer was 15 sources in total. Of course. That is quite a difference. My group, thanks to primarily the efforts of our organizing, like they say leader, but it is the person who is organizing, setting out the Zoom link. We've already got 15 sources because we were pretty sure we needed to do 15 sources per person, so we were writing a lot. We were like, fuck man, we're going to have to source each claim multiple times. And I understand the idea that they just want you to, like, learn to do this effectively and summarize multiple bits of information and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, but fuck man, that's a lot. Yeah. I don't just want distinctions. I want to pass. I just want to get through. Hello, comrade. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. There was less here than I expected. A lot of redundancy, yeah. Because there are 4 people in our group. Like, 45. More than that. 60. 60 sources. Good lord. It's about as much as like someone's dissertation, which I know because I've been reading a lot of them to find my own fucking sources. What the fuck are we supposed to be doing? God, it's been weeks. I'm so glad to be here. Isn't it beautiful? Not yet. Turn to Earth. Whoops. Yeah, all of those go back to Nekataka. LD's good. Eastern Nekataka. Let's do that. Nekataka? Kamat o Nagati? Alright. D sorcerers? No, we're not sailing into that storm again. Even if we do have a solution that allows us to avoid the worst of it. And it wasn't even as bad as I expected. Eora, huh? Oh. You're fucked. It's just boredom right away. I think it'd be hard to wrangle 6 quality Ds at once, to be honest. It's not hard to get bad D. Like, that's the whole problem. It's very easy to get low quality penis. But it's not so much a lack of access, it's a lack of quality, right? I'm not saying it's impossible to get that many quality cocks to suck or play with. Like, that would be crazy for me to say and inaccurate. It's more that actively wrangling them all together at the same time is going to be difficult. Worth it, no doubt.
Sure, leave it to me.
No. Go over there, slam. I want you to just, like, build up your kills with the cool sword. Maya's fine. Shit, that's a lot of them. Alright. How did she get into melee with so many of them? Did I immediately stop worrying about poor Vela? Which could be a very bad thing. And good. Boner bouquet. Yeah, and it is totally possible to get. All I'm saying is it requires organization, which is worth doing. It's just shouldn't be underrated. 1625, we're getting there. Did you see Alor throw a fireball after the last person, after everyone was dead? Sneaky fuck. Of course he did. That's just his thing. It's not the first time he's done that. No, we don't need to try and fight a master captain. Bean. Ow. Yeah, probably. Let's try and thin out the numbers a little bit this time. Oh, we are too fucking close. Turn to port. 2 turns because we're large. Fuck, alright. Come on, Wanker. Hold position. Fire. See, decent chance to hit because we held position. You can see why. There. We are too close. No, that's not turning. Oh no, they're turning. That's a raking fire because they're not side on, but still. Right. Ramming speed. Got him. I have. I can absolutely imagine organizing 7 people. It's fun. It's absolutely worth it. It's just it cannot be underestimated. You can take the approach. Sometimes when you're organizing large events, you take the approach it's like, okay, let's try and ask as many people when they're available and find the appropriate date. Good. So much overhead. Holy shit, you're going to exhaust yourselves. Potentially, it's actually smarter to just go, I'm setting it for this date. I'm not asking whether you're free. I'm asking if there's anything I've forgotten in our subculture's calendar, right? Like, did I accidentally arrange it for the same day as Fenno or something? Or like a role-playing game convention, which Fenno is. And then, if not, you go, all right, it's on this date. I hope you can all come. And then I hope you all come. Yes, Loxy? 55. So I have no... I would be particularly impressed, comrade, if that was the case. 60. Yeah, well... 55 fucking sources. Remember that if it's in your reference list, they're essentially saying that you've read the whole thing and understand it enough to say... not just that it influenced the work that they're about to read, but it's important enough that it counted, right? Like, anything... What are they saying? Yeah, like, when you reference something, you should have read the whole thing. So, reading 60 items to make a decent 20-minute presentation. It's just that he said it multiple times, so we believed it. We shouldn't have. We can't go there yet. Need too much calendar management, yeah. There we are. No one is resting now. Finer short fur. The slavers, huh? Really? There was a good cannoneer back here. Oh, okay. We'll replace a helmsman. No, never mind. Badel's exactly the right choice. Well, I guess we're in the right spot. Keep morale high by killing all of our enemies. Next level rogue board. Get him. Yeah, the abstract I understand the gist though. Yes, absolutely. That's not how people do it. The same way they're like, you should read all of the information, allow that to tell you what your argument should be, then write your essay based on that argument. Is that how people do it? Someone has a decent average idea based on the readings and other background information, and then they're like, I'm going to type up a bunch of stuff and then find something to matches. Oof, combusting wounds, okay. I'm going to find something that matches what I want to say. It's not strictly appropriate. It is how everyone does it, though.
Sure.
Eat shit, slavers.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. This is also why I do not intend to go into academia too far. I want to get in and get my qualifications and get out and actually help people, right? Yeah, you can harvest Wikipedia for sources. It's just that Wikipedia will use news articles. News articles aren't strictly appropriate because they're not peer reviewed, and we know a lot of shitty news articles. Poor Marvel. The choppy seas stretch towards the horizon, curls of dark blue capped with lines of foamy white. Captain! Shouts Kaega from the rigging. There's something in the water to port. Off the port side rail, you see a dark shadow rising from the depths. The water splits around a hump of thick, mottled skin. With a sound like a horn blown underwater, two powerful jets of spray erupt from the creature's back. Identify it. You've got decent survival. Maya frowns down at the water. Bowhead, maybe? Or a wallface. Whale, either way. Reach out to the beast's mind as a cipher. The thoughts swirling within feel more complex than you expected of a beast, with none of the blank coldness you've sensed from fish. Its mind is not as advanced as a wilder, but the creature certainly boasts more intelligence than a horse or cow. Thoughts, crew? Tongue flicking across chapped lips, Hamer says, "That's a wall-faced captain. Best whale for hunting in the whole Deadfire." Chitupek snorts, more likely a bowhead. You see that V-shaped spout? It's not on account of it having two blowholes. Hamer scoffs. That don't make it any worse hunting. It does if it dives and sinks our skiff. Chitupek's eyes roll. Nia steps back, appalled. You'd slay one of Agati's children and squander this blessing? Let the creature pass in peace. Hamer sizes the crew members who do their duties. You sail on. Adair likes it, because he likes animals. The great beast keeps pace with the ship for several hours, its songs seeming to vibrate within the very planks of the wanker. Nia hums quietly along as Hamer tosses bits of food to the creature. Chitupek sighs. They don't eat hardtack. Kaega chuckles. The ship sails on. That makes sense, comrade. I mean, just implying that the occupation they're teaching you to join doesn't provide work you can cite is pretty fucked, so I don't blame him. And there's as many eyes, eh? Anyway, I think we've farted around on the high seas for long enough, and we should get the truly insane. Like, I think we should start investigating some more islands, right? So let's do it. Pick up some flotsam. Love me some free repair supplies. The same way we're allowed to reference government-run research groups, but I'm not allowed to reference, say, government websites for the public service. The reports that they put out that are like, here is the truth, we can go, okay, cool. But if it's actually just their website, then definitely not. Even if it's a press release well, maybe it's a press release, but probably not. Yeah, probably not, because it's a press release. Anyway. I can ramble about this for too long. You find two of your crew members playing a game in the hold. This will be probably hit the all-in again. Yeah, no, we're not doing this. Yeah, no. You'd suffer the morale loss because you're not allowed to play. Fucking terrible, dude. Grand old galleon sits just off the shore, listening so hard to the side that its top deck stands nearly vertical. Its mainmast has been snapped clean in half, as if by the hand of an angry beast. Sift through the wreckage. Nice. We got some milk. Perfect. Kokokahara. Kabara Roku Shrine. I think we actually come back here later in the game, but let's do it now just in case. Get off the ship. Thank you. Peace. Yeah, almost certainly we come back here later. Whoops. Oh no, not this. What do you mean? Oh yeah, the all-in game. Ugh. You notice a small pavilion containing a large weathered statue of stone a little ways off the path. It appears to be a Hawana shrine. Search the area? Well, area around the shrine is clear and may prove to be a good place to rest. Identify it? We don't have anyone decent religion. Not a chance. The craftsmanship of the statue is remarkable, but time has worn down its features. You cannot discern who the shrine is dedicated to. Well, let's meditate on our travails and rest. Seated at the shrine, you steady your breathing and allow your muscles to loosen. You organize your thoughts, setting them in order. Understand, everything seems less perilous or more attainable. Finished, you return to your travels. Nice. We're going to fail to identify it again. We're going to set camp and rest. Did that count as a rest? Are you still injured? Probably. Pokogahara. Yeah, stupid Orland's head. I'm going to mute a chat that's going off right now. I love him to bits, but not right now. I'm busy. I'm busy entertaining people on the internet. Is it perhaps... Oh my god, the storms of Pokogahara. Learn about Pokogahara and Tikawara, or we'll just walk past it. The Vein of Luminous Address. This is the main... Oh, no, it's not the main quest. Alright. Cool. Well, here we are. No recommended companion. It is a main quest. Pokogahara. Tikawara. Okay, we'll do that one too. Gonna need one for that. We didn't manage that last time. Pilgrimage. Return to breathe. Oh. I think we tried to do that. Anyway. Cool. Let's do this then. Aloth dinged. What a good man. Wish I could give you like 20 ranks in religion immediately. You big nerd. Don't think he needs Arcana any higher, but I just love it. Oh, God, look at that level 8 spells. Raw damage to everyone in the area. Don't want to summon spells. Nope. Cool. Oh, you get 2. Right. Easy. It's not bad, though. Good job, Aloth. Look at you. I believe you get another weapon proficiency. Quarterstaff, there you go. Now you're a real wizard. Alright, let's go.
Leave it to me. I shall be discreet. We'll be fine. Just try not to breathe going through.
I think it's funny that we didn't visit Tikawara first to learn why we're here. But, yeah, we're definitely here for the main plot. Or at least it involves the main plot, so let's enjoy, right? The obelisk is covered in Inkwith and ruins. Beware, gods punish trespassers. Sink in, my friends. This is what we are doing.
Whoa, whoa, look.
No. Yes. There we go. Alright. Okay.
Yeah?
Are you ready? Yeah? Chaos Strike.
What do you need?
Let's go.
I'm on it.
Oh, an Oasis Delum gun. Why does it feel like this is the first main combat in a while? Because we've been on the ship and they don't really count. Strong, quick. You sheep, why aren't you doing your duty, right? Your AI is off. Full AI, please. Crazy thing. Ooh, look at that. Specific kith. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Welcome back to Pillars of Eternity, everybody. Oh, a Desert Worm hatchling. Love it. That party wide. Huh. Miss converted to graze. Not bad. Love a little dragon. Talking about turn-based mode and turn-based combat. Comrade.
I'll see what I can find.
Don't think Zorops count as Kith. He's like barrels of gunpowder. I love just standing there. That's excellent for us all. I humbly and fervently request that someone please clip that, at least the barrels of gunpowder. Amazing. How happy I am to be there. And then the party has died. Please. Please. It is simply hilarious. I don't think anything different we did on the level up for Aloth would have saved us. That was fucking hilarious. I'd love to clip it. I'm gonna put it on fucking TikTok. Which of course I do have. I'm just not very interested in using it all the time, so here we are. Alright, cool. Maybe I don't have to do that again.
So much for misty jungles and crystal beaches. Give me a real joke.
I'm sorry, Aloth. Jeez.
Trouble up ahead.
Lower the radius. Deal extra damage. And Dread Wind! I should not do this. Oh! Look at that. It just hits so hard. Turn Ishi's AI back on. Oh, Comrade, thank you so much for your blessing. The blessing of effort you put on me. Thank you. I will not recount our conversation of what it's like to play in turn-based mode. I will, in fact, turn it on. Hey. I don't think you can turn it on in-game. Oh, sorry, everybody. I'll have to show it off later. It's not... It's different, and I think that's important. Especially as it's a very often requested feature for nearly all CRPGs. People want it in turn-based mode. Not guaranteed that it's the most frequently played. Adair is scoring so many kills.
Hey there.
He's a dangerous man. Oh, the Thundercrack pistol. Good.
Thanks for letting me tag along. The Deadfire is awfully big for this little Orlin.
No worries. Pro tip, Vela, do not stand next to 3 barrels of gunpowder. Wish I had an excuse to have a highlight reel because... Yeah. It's only something that you're given the option to at the start of the game, whether you have to and cannot change that decision. That's a new one to me. Probably. Because we're looking at it now. Just increase the in-combat speed a little bit for these sort of fights here. I am not amazed it hasn't happened, but if I had ludicrous amounts of money, I would see if I could hire Obsidian to remake Pillars of Eternity 1 in the Pillars 2 engine. That thought was brought on by the just toggle of the in-combat speed here is fantastic. I find the mechanics in Pillars 2 are more interesting. The dual class system is really great as well. And I don't know. I don't believe new is always better. But I do think Quality of life improvements are incredible. What have we got up to? Not much. Random encounters. Effusive thanks to Comrade.
Up! Up! It's coming!
I'm sorry.
Apretta, inside!
That juddering effect is very annoying. I wonder what they're running from though.
Hey, look. Free camp.
Recamp! Storms of Pukakahara. Expedition from the Valiant Trading Company abandoned their camp here. Everything appears to be intact. Tent is empty, but for a stack of excavation tools, shovels, spades, and brushes half buried in the sand. Good thing we're a watcher!
Then swim back to Tikawara. We will take your share.
Thanks, Luxy. I appreciate that. Gonna be very good. I'll get to watch both of them. Especially the sparsely furnished tent stinks of spoiled rations. You find a rolled up map inside the satchel. It shows a course plotted for Tikawara to the west. Oh, could we not talk to the spirit? Maybe I should have done that right away. Oops. I'm eating an ice cream.
I got this.
Well, look, if you guys want to make a like a competition of clipping hilarious or depressing or amazing moments, like I am up for that. That sounds great. We are mired in the muck.
Something you don't see every day.
Stab him, Slam. Lack of dedication. Yeah, fair. Maybe not. You just enjoy rattling people's chains, comrade. I'm onto you. You're gonna meet Loxy in real person, comrade, and someone's gonna punch you.
Just like
Near fatal anxiety. Oh my god. I didn't motivate you effectively there at all, did I? I'll mix you drinks. You know I will. In effusive and enthusiastic eternal thanks. Do no punching. Nah. If you wakes you up enough, that'll be pretty funny. It's more of a threat to poor comrade who loves, and I agree, I think it's fantastic, the idea of just rattling chat's cage. Hey buddy, what you doing? What are you doing, huh? Entrance. It was also daytime when we came up to the store, Pukakahara, and now it's night. It happened real fast. Comrade, you must tell that story. That's hilarious. Big mixing. There you go. Yeah, rattling the cage is fun because it is interaction with chat and the streamer. It may not be the actual game, but it's not a let's play. Though you're not just here to see the game go through. There's commentary. There's color commentary. This weathered stone well seems fairly old, though you see fresh signs of excavation in the sand around it. A rope dangles over the side, trailing down into the darkness. Falls down a pebble. Alright, first off, we'll come back in a second. You lot are too far away. No way, Luxy. How could I know? Is it perhaps my response as well? Toss a pebble. After a few seconds, there's a splash. Pull up the rope. Hoisting the rope is surprisingly easy. The reason for that soon becomes clear. Nothing is attached to the frayed end of the rope. Send someone down the rope! Go, Wreck-It! Take a firm grip on the rope and make your way down. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Yeah, that's how this usually goes. It's not a common occurrence to say, hey, are you with someone when you're about to get down? Not a bad thing to do, but I certainly recognize that it doesn't have to be a standard part of your lexicon / hooking up structure, right? That is the person who is in the relationship's job to manage. If you already know it's a separate thing, I'm happy to discuss. It's like personal responsibility. Anyway, how hard were you punched? Should I have more empathy for your pain? Not long before the dark surface of the water becomes visible below, the end of the rope dangles, just above the water. Rekka spots a patch of burlap against the muck and stone. An old sack appears to have been lost or hidden in a crack in the wall. Unfortunately, the sack is out of arm's reach, and the material looks worn thin. It might be possible to swing over and grab the sack, but any blunder is likely to snag it on the stone. Swing towards the sack. Rekka kicks back and forth. The smooth, deft motions brings Rekka closer and closer to the wall until the sack is finally in reach. Grab the sack! As the sack comes free, it snags on the stone and rips open. Glittering gems spill from the tear as the rope swings in its smooth, steady arc. A quick grab could save the falling gems, but the sack still feels heavy with treasure. Try to save the falling gems. Oh, he's got it. 12, he had 50. Rekka holds the rope and torn sack with one hand and deftly catches the falling gems with the other. That's not a small amount of gems. Low to medium. Okay, yeah, that could be worse. We grabbed the sack. It's full of treasure. Look at all those. That's pretty good. I mean, I like this. Also, it's funny that if we send Rekka down there to be like, hey, Rekka, what do you find? His answer is nothing. Like, he does not speak the language we recognize at this point. So, like... Yeah, baby! Ingwithan Titan. Concentration 4. What a good start. Fuck him up! Get him! I think this is what Smiley1313, who is not in the chat but is a friend of mine, was saying yesterday in game, at a Pathfinder game. Like, I'm pretty sure he was like, yeah, I was fighting this thing, and just picked up my dudes and squashed them. I had to be like, yeah, that happens. Which sucks, but the truth, man. Oh, it's immune to resolve, might, and dexterity afflictions. That's good. It's got 2 static charge from the Volge, though. But it's not going to last that long. Whoop. Give allies a resolute. Yeah, we've killed Rim again, so I'm not super concerned, right? Ball lightning. Look at that. Near death. Got him. My screen going green? Not on my end, I'm afraid. Some good stuff. Thanks for the stuff, Titan. The patina over this entrance tells of age and long exposure. In spite of its degradation, the copper door is as heavy and as densely forged as a vault. Gravity holds the slab firmly against stone. Examine the door closely. I mean, it is slightly green, yes, but you can see. Interesting. Old markings in the shape of fingers suggesting Gwithan Titans once possessed the strength to raise a door. Difficult to tell from here if anything else once controlled the door's opening or closing. You find a hole in the surrounding stone bearing a curious spiral shape. You also take note of scour marks at the base of the door, likely evidence of a pry bar used to wedge it open. The damage to the stone looks recent. No one made it inside, the door has long since closed behind them. Well, pry bar. You press your weight onto the pry bar for leverage. Given the force you apply, the door budges less than you expected it to. There will be a physical cost to straining yourself like this. Reconsider. You set the pry bar aside and consider your options. The door remains steadfastly shut. Gotta be a solution here, right? Game is taunting you with the idea of just using brute strength. Spiral shape? Search the rocks? Perhaps we go to Tikawara and ask the people that escaped. Yeah? That is very interesting, Luxie. Another wander around. See if there's something in the oasis, maybe? Check the camp again. If not, let's go to Tikawara and work it out from there. We can do it. Yeah, and I remember seeing that generally on VGA cables. It's no longer an issue because it's just not how they do connections like that anymore. HDMI is an almost entirely digital system. It plugs in, and the HDMI port at one end, the thing, and the HDMI port at the other end is like, I'm plugged in now, are you? And it goes, yes, I am. And like, okay, cool. Let's send the thing. And it goes, all right, let's go. That's very fast. Much faster than how I'd say it. But I was amazed when Ethernet cables could tell when they're plugged in at both ends. And now we've gotten even better. I don't know, it's just... Tech can be cool. It's often not, because people managing it just want profit, nothing else. But tech can be very cool. Lord, hey. Way all away, all way up home. Yeah. Now it's in the same order, so we'll gain morale at the same point. Way all the way, we'll all hail home. Way all the way, we'll all hail home. I don't know all the lyrics. Let's take a while. Moving fast again for some reason, and I don't know why. Pick up the thing, thank you. Sorry. Wait, leave. Quick save. Now kill. It's a Dow. And they're level 11. Naval combat. We just shit post here and get in fights and megas. And I don't, which is... I've been in a couple of fights in real life, right? And that was certainly interesting. I don't know if I'd repeat them in any way, but... Yeah, we did hold position, time to fire. Yeah, we're in a good range. Grape shot. LOL. Fuck. Okay, we're not gonna get overconfident and just... Shit. Not what I wanted to do. Just absurd. The games people need to play sometimes, it's just absurd. And get him! There we go. Right, now I think we've got a good chance of taking him down. Turn to port. And we do want to charge. speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Yep. Cargo. Report to. Go. We'll deal with it. Literally do not need cannoneers. We're about to. No, they're still doing that. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Yep, they're all waiting again, and ram. Eat it. Oh man, we damaged our hull while charging them. Ugh, terrible. Yes, Emma, they were. Don't worry. Probably be better off now, given I do exercise at all. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm probably much better than I ever would have been back in those days. And I'm less likely to fight unless you really deserve it too. Fucking Nazis, man. I do recognize that at sometimes people are like, I'm looking for an excuse. I want to fight, I'm going to fight, I might as well fight someone who deserves it. I don't love that as a motivator. I still don't think it's terrible. Come on. You up? Look at that knockdown. Good job. Ninagoth's killing bolt. Well, it certainly did. Yeah. Her chair. How possessive. How pointless. Why bother? It's like someone said, this is our section of sea. Fuck off. I'm like, what? Territory. God, territory. I've been thinking about territory because I've been thinking about vampire, and it's a thing. In V5, they expect you to. Hall of the Unseen. We'll go there later, don't worry. It's cool as hell. They expect you to set up a territory map for the whole, like the place, the city you're setting your vampire game in, as part of world creation. And I'm like, that's interesting. But it's hilarious that this came about the same time that I read part of the Carthian book for Requiem. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, search a location. And Tinder. Cool. The Carthian rulebook in Requiem Second Ed, thank you, specifically mentions a Carthian experiment where someone got rid of territory and you had to fight back the part of your beast that said territory was a necessary part of being a vampire. And like, my leftist tendencies are like, that would be interesting and probably better for everyone overall. But they also stated how important a tradition it was. Like the feeding grounds, the I am a beast, I'm a vampire, I control this land, it is mine, is just such a strong instinct for them. That makes it interesting. Now, when I start V5, like running it, and I will, I'm not interested in running a no territory game. I think that would be asking for a bit too much challenge right now. But I am thinking about it, and I would certainly be open to running a game without it. But I also recognize, especially with like Night Road and how important it was. I did, Emma. And it was so charming and clever that nearly everyone in chat immediately wanted to jump my bones. And I said, no, thank you. I need a little break. We'll be okay. Comrade! Giving away the truth. How dare you? Anyway, It just means I'm open to the idea that, like, more than usual. Yeah, a little bit. I re-dyed the hair. I regained additional power, right? That's how it goes. Anyway, of course you're not going to lie to my wife. I've got a vested interest. The fetid, sweltering jungle looms around and above you, the thick canopy capturing the heat. Sweat clings to your nostrils and drips from your chin. Nothing seems to move in all the world save you. Your companion's complaints fell silent hours ago. You pause beside a broad, stagnant waterway and are refilling your skins when you hear movement in the wilds ahead of you. The tree of kith step out of the trees and into the water, their torn and filthy robes billowing in the water. They pause near the center of the creek. The central figure, a beatific savannah folk, smiles up at you. Slime Shadows, watcher of Cadnua. He raises his palms to you. We mean you no harm. Indeed, we awaited you here, because we have a... He glances towards the others traveling with you. He bows his head slightly. We offer a proposal, if you would step aside with us to hear it. Yeah, of course. Let's move closer. I'm listening. The man lowers his voice. There's a place hidden among these wilds. An old place watched by the quiet slave. Damn. One willing to make a sacrifice. A true sacrifice, says a woman at his side as she nods towards your companions. Such devotion will be rewarded by him in turn. Let me make a counter proposal. Die. The trio laughed quietly. Then it was as said. You will tear down all. Yeah, look. We're gonna kill these Sky Knights. Is he running directly for Vela? Yes, he is. No? Why does Aloth inspire such enmity? Like, he's such a cute guy. Get him. Get him. I need you to kill that one, please. Just let Slam get one more killing. How is she? Come on. This is the... No, she's over here. All right. This is the hardest part, honestly. Yay! Good job, Slam! I want to get to the final tier of this weapon. And it will take a while. Ricky... Alright. All the way over here, please. This is why I was kind of like, if it is in fact... Just leave. No. Just... Slam Shadows kill the priest. Yay! My god, somehow that did it. I didn't expect that. That's good. Oh, rebooting! Good to see you tonight. That's fantastic. Oh my god, 6 months, 8 months in total, 6 months streak. God. Hello. I hope everything is treating you well. Maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe I'll get to Dunwich before they realize they don't want me. Alright, let's talk to Mordweir.
Did I do something wrong?
Mordweir pauses, choosing his next words carefully.
When we kill somebody, you know, I mean, it's still great, you're fine, but I've noticed you use a lot of the same moves every time, and you don't polish me as often as you used to.
This is why you book in times where you want to do something more interesting, or polish, and more in a different way than usual. Use some different moves. Oh, hello, rebooting. I'm sorry about the suck, but I'm honored to be a good stream for you. Yes, please.
I look at what he's doing with his weapon, and I wish it was me. Not with him, of course. I mean, with you. They look happy together.
Mordweir hesitates. Modware, I understand, and I want you to finish your thought before I go on and talk more, but I am doing a bit You're Not a Real Person, so let me continue practicing my relationship counseling skills on you, a not real thing. You're not Adair's weapon, and you don't know what's going on in Adair's weapon's head. It's entirely possible they have the same sort of fears and frustrations that you have. The best way to get through this is to do exactly what you're doing now and talk to Slam Shadows, to your wielder, and express your needs honestly.
I never got bored with my owner. She always kept things fresh. Why can't you be more like her?
I understand this is the feeling you have, but it is a good thing to recognize that people are different, will have different ways and different ways of expressing their use for you. Comparing people, generally not very helpful. It is better to focus on your feelings and how you think they could be improved or supported.
If I was you, I'd be browsing weapon shops. Send a message.
What is this actually about?
You're not even trying anymore. It's like you don't care if I'm your sword or not.
Mordware pauses, trembling, as if it's trying to tamp down some unvoiced emotion. Well, we're not using intimidate or aggressive or passionate. Let's use our honest, insight, peaceful. I don't think this is really about me.
You think just because you helped me, used me to slice up countless monsters, that you know me?
The sword shakes itself out of your hands and onto the ground, turning itself away from you.
I know I shouldn't talk about her anymore. My owner, I mean. That part of my life is over.
This doesn't have to be true. It's fine to talk about previous experiences. They make you who you are. Diplomatic.
She made me. I tried my best for her. Always kept my edge. Why did she leave me behind?
It sniffles. Somehow.
I need closure. I need to know why. What did I do wrong?
When we find her, you should ask.
I suppose even if we do find her, there's no guarantee she'll give me a real reason. Maybe it's stupid of me to want one.
Unfortunately, Mordware, closure is something you give yourself. It's not about asking someone to give you a gift of information or to close off your feelings. It's something you feel, usually only in retrospect.
Anyway, thank you for listening.
Of course, whatever you need, Mordware. Talk to Yingfrith and Dunnage about Mordware. Well, there you go. Experimentation. Krantz bottoms up. Stun. Yeah, okay, cool. Strike by the pommel, inflicting bonus crush and shock damage. That's fantastic.
Yeah? I'm watching.
Boy, I'm glad we killed these Skaanites. I also kind of wish there were Skaanites that went fucking crazy, right? You good? Maybe? Yes, Slam Shadow will eat the scroll. Jimbles will. Who knows? All very good. We'll stop for a snack. Subterranean temple? Think it's a Skaanite temple that we're going to burn down? After traipsing through a barren desert for several hours, you come upon an Engwithan ruin in the center of a clearing. As you near, you realize the door to the ruin's entrance is emblazoned with a broken crown of Wartica. Nope, not Skaan. The door swings open at your approach, and you immediately feel an oppressive presence butting against your mind. It tests your mental defenses, searching for a gap to exploit. Then, just as quickly as the presence arrived, it's gone. Ah, suckers! That's what you get. You can't mess with Slam Shadows. Yeah, how about fresh fruit? Honestly, better. Right? For roughage?
I'll see what I can find.
Yeah.
What do we have here? Give me a real challenge.
Thank you. Also trapped? No? Cool. Yeah, push into focus mind, baby! I love that droning sound. I understand it will probably make Emma real sad. was longer than necessary. Did someone invite Deadman here?
Would yeah, right away. Whoa, look.
We're just gonna walk in and fucking kill him?
I'll teach you a lesson.
Be stealth, get him. We missed dialogue as well. Like, the mace mustn't fall into their hands. Okay. Well, we're here for a mace then, I guess.
Be right there.
Come on. Good. Frantically winding their crossbow. Oh, please. Please, please, please. Shiza, you gibbs them. Unigord's killing bolt for 74 damage. Oh, hey, Deadman. Yeah, I was asking, and then doing a bit. Not like I'm calling you out. I don't intend to, at least. You're likely grinding. Extra experience. In Majesty, maybe? The cave-in has rendered this doorway impassable. Free mace, baby! The statue of Waterca bears an exquisite mace in its hand. The presence in the mace reaches out to touch your mind, the presence you first encountered when you entered the ruins. Okay, examine the mace.
What is this thing?
You jealous, Mordweir?
Rimmergob's frigid ballsack!
Makes heaving sounds as if it's eaten something foul. What happened?
That thing, whatever it is, it's stupid. Really, really stupid. And disgusting.
Pistols at noon followed by shits and giggles? I like it. Mordweir's hilt runs hot. Mace's leather-wrapped hilt is curiously untouched by age. Its head is fashioned from a dark metal and radiates a cruel and biting cold. Once again, the presence reaches for you, grasping at your mind with claws sharp and relentless as a bird of praise. Examine the statue. Statue stone is dappled with rot and riven with age. Must have been placed here long ago. Grab the mace! Find the mace painfully cold to the touch. The presence inhabiting it probes at the edges of your mind, searching for cracks in your mental defense. Close off your mind. Dedicate all of your concentration to blocking the mace's efforts to get its hook into your mind. Take the mace. You crush what remains of the mace's will and lift it from the statue. The last flutter of emotion passes from the mace and into you. Despair. Magistrate's cudgel. Lines with cipher, fighter, monk. It's not that good, but it will get better once found. Lord. Imagine this. Your religious sect says you need to live here in the middle of nowhere and just wait for someone to turn up. And if they try and take the mace, kill them, throw them in the pit. That's your entire job. That's your entire life now. Island name. God, the stupid mace is pretty good, but we need like an island name that represents that. Not just what's happened there. Mace face oval. Yeah. It was embarrassing how much power the game just gave me. Worst thing is, I'm not going to bind anyone's soul to it. It's just like, well, alright. Thanks. Tikawara, eh? I'm glad two of my friends are not shooting each other. That's a big plus in my eyes. Especially as I don't even realize what I was accidentally calling Deadman out for. Maybe a bad pun? Doesn't seem likely. Late autumn. Vector!
A ship!
I am saved.
Hey there! The dwarf fans himself with a dish rag. His face is dark and shiny with exertion. Sweat colours wide crescents on his shirt. Looks at you like a drowning man would look at dry land.
Weeks I've been stranded here. The Valiant Trading Company sends no one. Unless...
He squints at you, dabbing his brow feverishly with the corner of the rag. Granted, this is a settled island.
By whose standard do you call this settled?
Eat shit, you racist dwarf. With an anxious swallow, he glances over his shoulder at a sleepy, ramshackle village. His gaze darts from one grass-thatched hut to another as if expecting some unspeakable horror to emerge. Follow his gaze. See what he's looking at. He isn't fixating on anything in particular, but his eyes widen with unease whenever the island armor draw near. He flinches and clears his throat.
I only tarry here because my shipmates went to Pococohara to search for Luminous Adra.
He brushes an insect off his sleeve.
I worry that Ruano, the local chieftain, gave Captain Bez and my crewmates a false lead.
He knots the rag in his hands, pulling it taut.
Or didn't know the way himself and was just trying to impress the outsider.
Maya winks down at Ishiza.
Ugh, this is a terrible place.
Rattle that cage, comrade. I think it's good. Why would he do that?
Why would I go bobbing for reason in shark-infested waters?
He waves his rag like a handkerchief.
You get a pass because I like that one.
Maya folds her arms and grins.
Ruano was the last to speak with the captain before she set sail. He squats in the hut northeast of that pitiful market.
He nods toward the gutted hull of a ship.
I would have joined her, but my stomach... something did not agree. Now it is weeks since they should have returned. I'm only the galley cook, not a search party.
Got bad news for you, Vector. He nurses his stomach and winces.
I'd say he's one clove short of a bulb.
Rude.
A cozy for my staring. It is unusual to see one of the locals so outfitted.
Glances up and down at Maya. Mostly up.
More unusual than a dwarf with no sense of direction.
Adair likes that. Vector isn't a Valian name.
Bargroon. My grandparents gave up their nomadic ways when they moved to the republics. But I see the appeal of staying in one place, one safe place.
He dabs at the back of his neck as he glances around. He's hoping your crew makes it back.
Ugh, the company would front the coin for a search party if someone competent stuck their neck out.
Aye, that's who we are. He sighs, draping the rag over his shoulder. What has you so on edge?
When we landed on Tikawara, the chieftain gave us a welcome feast for the dukes.
Yeah, that's a good thing. What are you worried about?
We feasted, danced, drank, and slept. Only so we could feast, dance, and drink more.
The ghost of a smile flits across his face. You were awfully busy for a man claiming to be ill?
Per complanconned, music and ale are medicine for the soul.
He pats a hand over his heart and gives you a sheepish look.
Even so, they did nothing to soften Ahhhh. He said we had come to rob and plunder. He and Nairi turned the villagers against us.
He wipes a fresh rivulet of sweat from his temple.
After that, we slept on the boat and took turns watching the shore. Except for me. I had to rest and recover, of course.
He coughs.
But in the early hours, our lookouts Ruano and Ahhhh disappeared together.
Where did they go?
I am sure I do not know. All I heard was that they left the village.
Okay.
And by the afternoon, only Ruano returned.
Wow.
Now no one here will even talk of Ahhhh. Suspicious, no?
That is weird.
Our captain was eager to leave before the winds changed again.
Perspiration gleams on his forehead. You mentioned Nairi?
The priestess. She imagines me in the jaws of our fish goddess. I know it.
He fans himself even more rapidly.
She lurks in the shrine next to that awful statue. I cannot stand her wicked looks, but if she does not scare you, then maybe you talk to her.
Okay. I need supplies?
The captain left all but the essentials with me. I have sustained myself trading with the villagers.
Smart.
Ecosi, but I'm almost out of ale.
He gives you a weak smile and shows off his wares. Alright. Infinite hardtack and water? Love it. Pry bars? We need as many as we can take. Rope and grappling hook? Yes. Pickaxes? Totally. Love all of these. Very necessary. No, I don't need that. No, I don't need that. Or that. Lovely. Just to make sure we're not out too much. Sell everything that is not superb, and then we'll go on a break. Yes, exactly, exactly. Magistrate's cudgel. Yeah, we're just asking for trouble. We're not doing it. Finest dog. Regular club. Man, killing slavers, there's no downside. You get money, get loot. They're slavers, they don't deserve to live. Yeah, we only keep superb things now. We are rolling in it. We are the leaders. The finest pirates you've ever met. We do lots of things.
I must watch the supplies at the trading post. You will come to check on me, yes?
Jimbles, why are you leaving? We're getting different. Killing slaves as a service. Yeah, absolutely. We will take a break in just a moment. If we're going to talk to the native Wana, I think perhaps we should take people appropriate to the task. We were also sent to go here by the Valiant Trading Company. So, we're going to change our party up significantly and essentially create a boiling pot of people with different faction intents. So they can make them argue. Because that's really funny to me, personally. Plus, it's also, like, a main thing for the game, right? Different factions have all got different attitudes on the Deadfire and what to do with it. By taking only people who are, like, not...
You delight in touching exotic animals, Eora?
Me? I suppose. Much as the next fella.
I love you.
Far from these shores lies a garden of anemone. What say we go together?
Oh, if that's those things that tickle your hands, I'll put the whole Ahhhh mission aside right now.
Oh my god, I love them. That's so good. That's so good, is it not? Oh, perfect. Okay, we'll be back in 15 minutes or so, so we'll see you at 8:46-ish, okay? Okay, be good. Yeah, how dare you fail so beautifully. And the monitor capture off. That's better. Right. Such a shame. I made an old fashioned, but I didn't have any orange or citrus peel at all, so. I also deliberately put the maraschino cherry in there so that I didn't have to add new sugar syrup. Very lazy one. Heavy pour on the whiskey, because, yeah, why not? No, most of that is ice. It's nice. It's sweet. There's a lime on the bench. God damn it. Alright, well, whoops. Don't blame me for assuming that you're going to need the lime for guacamole. This is self-serving. I love guacamole. Yes, we stand an athletic queen. Want some peel? No, not now. It's totally fun. Now I'd only be doing it for the bit. I feel like adding extra people with religion just because we keep getting burnt by it. It is a very weird offer. But I love it, though. 7 men onto the deck they went. Can't take it because it's water shape up. Alright. We gotta get Relentless Storm. Zap the fuckers! We get another one! Oh my god. "7 nights she waited while the white winds wept." Very cool, but honestly, Cleansing Wind! One more? No? Alright. Oh, what are you wielding? Oh, regular greats are terrible. No, 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 no. Do you want a one-handed mace that would be terrible for you? It'd be really bad. Yeah. She's supposed to be a two-hand fighter, right? Let's do it anyway because I think it's funny. That's a good reason to do anything. Bind soul to the magistrate's cudgel. She's a fighter, yeah, of course. She's a fighter paladin as well. Deal 250 damage to judged enemies. Judge, mark to 30 seconds on scoring a hit. Oh, cool. Yeah, brilliant. Alright. That's super good. Right. Excerpt from charter regarding the establishment of municipal domains and the appointment of their respective magisters under the right and natural guidance of the fair Kong, divinely appointed ruler of the Empire of Adir and the beloved of Watercar, long may he reign, penned by Sinwith Sinmardu, agent of the court. Let it be known that the enclosed with this document bearing the seal of the beloved fair Konig, LMHR, is the instrument of which the document speaks. In light of recent misguided rebellion of the Deerwooden colony, the Imperial Ministry sees fit to coalesce the functions of the Colonial Court of Judges into a single office. Hereto, the officer of the court shall, with the full authority of the Imperial Ministry, assume the rank and privileges of the magistrate of the court for a term of office to be determined by said ministry. Hit people with stick until they stop rebelling. Given how little she likes Deerwood now, it's kind of appropriate. Disgraza. Yeah. Ta-da! What a lucky cat. How do you think cats feel about the extra fluff you create for them? Oh, alright, cool. Oh, that's pretty sick. Pretty sick. Disengagement with health. When you hit for disengagement, they can't get away. But disengagement with health, yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Cool as beans. Solve resistance, dexterity. We're gonna kid her out, man. Only usable by Watcher. Not that useful. Kind of hoping your team members fall unconscious then, huh? Can't soul infused. While afflicted. Yeah. Oh, she's got intimidate. Might as well stack it, right? Yeah. Hydron sundial. Good God. I feel like oh, it's a relic. Yeah. All right. Cool. Time. These. Yeah, these are the things we had equipped in the Beast of Winter expansion. Yeah. Petrified and untargetable. Not very helpful, but better than nothing. Better than that, too. Better than that. Can't wear hats! That's also a hat. No, that's a waste. Okay. Enjoy the alchemy bonus of fireballs. Cast fireball with it. Love it. No rings, no hands. Okay, well. Maybe I should have bought those magic items. They said we probably wouldn't need. Oh well. Scary is still pretty to need stuff. Why do we not have enough magic items? It's crazy. We should. It's just odd that we don't. Wow, yeah, alright. Sicken on course. 10% couches. Road versus time you hit, have a chance to do extra 5% AoE. Lovely. Might as well, right? We're picking up all the ingredients. Oh, just to eat the fluff.
Still is a pond.
I like when you stealth aim or cautious mode, they pull out their weapons. Blessings upon you. Spoke with the Queen. When will she expel the foreign visitors? Any outsiders buy my crafts, I say. A lot of things are steel here. We're not going to be stealing. This is woven from Kaora reeds, a hardy but flexible material smelling of sea salt.
Slippery as an eel.
Just looking.
Interesting.
Oh, filthy lizards. Even here, I always smell them.
Hey, Vector? Let's just talk to him, Huey. The woman stands outside an half-finished building, arms crossed, as if in protest of any shelter it might offer. Looks like she's scowling, but the scars on her face make it hard to tell.
An outsider in Tiquara? Who are you, stranger?
Her hand strays toward a high belt cinched tightly about her waist. I'm Slime Shadows, captain of the Wenka.
A captain? If you had sailed downwind of the island, you would have moved on, I say.
Don't be mean.
I tell Ranga Ruano that the stench of Tiquara will drive away friend and outsider alike. Do you smell it?
She flares her nostrils, grimaces.
Surely you can. Your kind of nose is like palm rats.
First of all, mean. Right. My friends here promised that they bathed before we left port. The dad checks for onlookers before tucking his nose under his arm and sniffing. He appears more than a little taken back. Findings. Everyone loves that.
I speak of the Lagufath.
Oh.
There is no food on this barren island that those monsters do not steal.
The scars are like seams, tugging her face into a scowl.
Yeah, but how could you say no to those little faces?
A dare.
Always they circle our village looking for weaknesses.
She shakes her finger, making an argument she seems to have made many times before.
I pushed the cage with the young ones farther toward the beach, but I smell them even here.
It's no wonder they come here when the beach smells like a Lagerfeld hatchery.
Better to keep them under our thumb than sharpening blow darts, I say.
Deedy snacks, deedy snacks.
A week ago, I tracked the fish to Hoina Ravine, so I challenged the Mataru to a hunting competition. My mother's belt for the brood mother's head.
Greeting, she thumbs the hide belt slung across her waist.
It is not every day that newcomers land on our beaches. What say you show me how outsiders deal with Lagufath?
Not a stalker ranger, nor are we a Nalpashka monk. A little competition sounds like fun.
Understand they are animals. You must rely on blades, I say, not words.
Oh, you're slightly diplomatic, so I'm gonna tell you off. Come on.
Hunting tales of our ancestors say the brood will scatter when their fish Renga is killed.
Yeah, okay, we'll kill the leader, easy.
No need to chase the children if you cut the head from the mother.
He makes a sweeping motion across her neck. Alright, what are you doing with the shipwreck?
The Renga wanted a trading post.
She glowers at the strange building, which appears to be part scaffolding and part shipwreck. You can see it here.
He said it will bring more Valians like the sweaty dwarf. Then they will bring food and supplies and their sweaty money.
A shiver of disgust ripples across her face. What's wrong with that?
Always I stand here. This is no job for the Mataru. We hunt, fight, and lead.
She paces next to the trading post, restless energy practically quivering through her arms and legs. So why aren't you hunting or fighting?
What is there to hunt on this heap of rock and moss? No game, only Lagofath skulking in Hoina Ravine. Even the antelope know there is no fit home. The grasses are thin and the trees are like a child's bones. Small and soft. Even to build this, we must hike up the mountain for wood.
She wraps the side of the trading post with her knuckles. Okay, I'll buy some
Am I a
supplies.
Huaru? Do I dirty my fingers with coins 1,000 hands have touched? Never.
She spits.
Go see the sweaty one, the dwarf. He washes his hands sometimes.
Alright, thank you, Himihui.
No sign of my shipmates on the horizon.
He sighs and billows the front of his shirt. The wet fabric slaps against his chest with a plopping sound. Hot.
Ekosi, but I'm almost out.
Nothing new, but did he have things that I said I didn't need and decided I do? Dash. You get gloves. Enjoy. 10% of incoming hits converted to grazes. Good, you'll need it. Let's go. All we need to do is deal some damage. We'll upgrade that one. These fruits are small or underripe. Most are riddled with wormholes. Keep investigating. Oh my, oh my.
Afraid not, Captain.
Small crustaceans skitter across the rocks in the tide pool. Wasn't that right before we had break? Wasn't it so lovely
I have no fish for you.
to have that little moment between Tikehu and Adair? Pekaho.
Full tides.
The fisherman lowers his head in greeting and wipes his hands on his sarong, which is mottled with fish guts. He doesn't meet your gaze. Why is Lagerfeth caged?
Kimwihi and the other Mataru found them when they explored the island.
He looks at the creatures with mingled trepidation and disgust. They bare their teeth in response, flies buzzing around their clouded, gunky eyes and the dull patches on their scales.
Said maybe we train them to build. And if the soil and sea are misers here,
He,
then
sh-
we eat them.
he shrugs, scratching at his incurved belly. Adair's hand begins to drift slowly towards his weapon. He blinks at your companion impassively, glancing toward the sea with a air of mild impatience. What can you tell me about Tikawara?
The high tide is stingy with fish, and the low tide even more so.
He points down the beach to a lonely rack strung with a few scrawny fish.
But the fish do not swim to you, brother? Strange.
Are you gloating, Tikehu?
Akira, for Ingadi does not bless us all equally.
Tikehu swallows and glances toward the sea. No, they probably not healthy, which is sad. He averts his gaze. Oh well. Abandoned cat? Not anymore, baby. Miri! 1 intellect? Not bad. And get less crits. Huh. Like, be hit with crits less. That's pretty good. Pretty good indeed. Hello, Miri the kitty. Yeah, so like,
Village starves, and you hide Kawiki fruit?
I hide
Confess,
nothing, you
Tamal,
bloated puff of
or
filth.
will you let good food rot?
the young warrior's forehead is furrowed with lines and beaded with perspiration. He stands over a man bound to a pole.
Does mine look like a full belly, idiot? Question the rest of the Raparu. We all hunger.
Every word out of the bound man emerges as an agonized wheeze. He glares up at Mukumu. Yeah, exactly. I'm with rebooting here, you know? Adair also specifically thinks Lagerfeld are cute.
Disgrace. Any other Raparu has worked 10 times in a day what you have in your life, and they do not complain.
Boy, do I not like caste systems. The warrior pulls a dagger from his belt and thumbs the tip thoughtfully. Blinking, he turns to you, wearing a bright, friendly smile.
Another outsider. You visit Tikawara in hungry times.
Mukumu sighs through his nose.
What do you make of this hagfish, huh? Will Tamao confess if I tighten the ropes?
He gestures to the bound man. We're not a bleak walker, so we can't, like, tell him, oh, I'm good at torturing, don't worry. Not an island armoire from the Deadfire archipelago, so... You know, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. He blinks, momentarily perplexed.
Pakeho caught this wretch stealing the last of the Koiki fruit. The tribe was to feast on it for a harvest ceremony.
The Koiki will reveal itself when you can smell it from Nekataka, I say.
Uh-huh.
I stole no Koiki, but I wish I had. I would have hid it somewhere most unpleasant.
He bares his teeth in a defiant grin.
You hear this? A second chance we give, and Tamao throws it in our faces.
Mukumu holds the blade level with Tamao's heart. Would it make things better if I had some spare Koiki fruit on hand? This is not gonna work, right? I'm pretty sure this is not gonna work, but we're gonna do it anyway.
I say missing food is not the problem. Tamao betrays the tribe, dishonors the Raparu, denies all of us Kahopa's mercy.
He winces as if ashamed to even discuss it.
And he will surely wash back into our nets as a mudfish in the next life if he does not tell us where the Kawiki fruit is.
He raises his voice again just to be certain Tamao hears it.
I might have an old primer on Raotayan naval punishments lying around. You could give those a try.
He worries one of his hairs between two fingers. Pro Raotai, eh?
You speak like an outlander, but your face is of the tribes.
He frowns at Maya.
Forget I said anything.
He's done this before?
Lied and stolen? Akira. When we have food, he takes more than he deserves. He steals baskets and pots, and even pilfered a spearhead from a warrior on the hunt.
Exasperated, Mukumu mops his brow with the back of his hand.
I say there is no person in Tikawara who he has not wronged in some way. Maybe no person in the Deadfire.
That's ridiculous. What say you, Tamao?
I say I deserve what others have in plenty. Shade, a full belly, a moment to kneel on cool sands.
He glares up at Mukumu.
We stopped being a tribe when Ruanu dragged us into the path of the outsiders. Now we can only save ourselves.
God, I hate caste systems. Fucking hell.
You shame us, Tamao. To return in your next life as a coconut crab would be too kind.
Yeah, coconut crabs rock. Huge crab? Awesome. Mukumu stamps his foot, kicking up a flurry of dust. So, what was this Kawiki ceremony?
We would have eaten the last of the Kawiki as a tribe. This way we give our thanks to Kahopa, the eel of life.
His eyes go downcast.
Now this cannot happen. Our harvest fails because this one puts his empty stomach higher than the gods.
Isn't it traditional to eat the whole fruit, seeds and all?
Akira, just so.
He nods resolutely.
To consume the fruit, seeds, and all. This is how we pray to Kahopa for bounty.
So the harvest probably isn't hurting because he ate the last of it, right? No, because you eat the whole thing. Anyway, the heavy guilty man, what's to be done?
Pikeho's word is enough to give Tamao over to the waves.
Keho's word. Mukumu faces the beach and touches his brow.
Perfectly civilized. Go on.
Maya strokes her chin and nods. Takehu does not like that, furrows his brow, sighing through his nose.
This is our way.
He blinks at Maya.
Better to drown as an innocent man than starve with you fools.
Tamao spits, but without the forward momentum, it just dribbles on his chin. Mukumu turns his gaze away, doing his best to ignore him.
Justice does not fill our stomachs or our hearts. It brings the gods no closer to ending this famine.
Mukumu's hand strays toward his stomach. He glances out to the horizon. We're not a ranger, so we can't do this, whatever that is. Anyway, whisper a good word in your Ranga's ear and I'll consider it.
Akira, you would do this? I say, our Ranga will dedicate the Feast of the Last Kawiki to your name.
Claps you on the shoulder, leaving Tamao all but forgotten.
Until the Kawiki is found, I will delight in prodding this stubborn eel for answers.
He touches the point of his dagger, his lips spreading into a broad grin.
You are free to question him in your custom, I say, and Peheko he tarries often by the beach.
Mukumu nods towards the shore. I'd like to know about the village.
Then you must speak with the Ranga. His lodge is at the top of the hill, past the trading post.
Thanks.
Nairi also knows much, but she is quiet ever since.
His eyes go wide as he catches himself. He clears his throat.
Nairi, she tends the shrine in the northwest part of town, near the statue of Ngati. Yes.
He nods rapidly. What do you do here?
I am a warrior, like most Mataru. Can you not tell?
He poses, standing tall and flipping the blade in his hand.
We have little reason to fight on Tikawara, except when the fishermen drink too much of the dwarf man's liquor. But these are only small fights, not like the ones on the island we left before, when the pirates, the slave...
His expression goes slack. For several seconds, his widening eyes stare blankly into some remembered horror. After a moment, he steps back.
But what did I say? Tikawara does not give in abundance, but there are worse things, Akira.
Well. Yeah.
Traitor! Ngati's jaws will close around you!
Bowed man casts a wary stare down at you, his arms tightening weakly beneath their restraints.
Don't know how long a man could last out here like that.
Exactly, Adele. It's so hot in the midday sun.
You look at me for what? To watch me shrivel up in the sun?
It's night, buddy. Maybe a trick of the light, but the man's emaciated scowl does appear shriveled. You saw the last of the tribe's Kawiki?
If only my brain and belly had coordinated. I say I would have tried sooner.
He glances longingly toward the hut north of the Rangas.
Keho hates me because I insult his puny catches of fish. All he does is weigh down his boat. For this, he accuses me.
What's your side of the story?
Keho says I was skulking by the drying hut north of the Ranga's home. Akira, this is so.
I was skulking. I love skulking. It's my favorite activity starting with an S.
I would have taken the Kohiki, but it was already gone.
Can you think of anyone else who might have taken it?
It is said the Roparu share one empty stomach. Blame any of them, I say.
He grimaces down at his lean frame.
The tribe drives me out like jerky because I am hated, not because I am a Kawiki thief.
Tell me about yourself.
I have seen better days than this.
He grimaces up at you.
I labor for the tribe, but our Ranga saves the best of everything for his warriors. For what does a warrior need with a full stomach when we are not at war?
The Mao shakes his head and scowls. Yeah, I agree. It's exactly what rebooting says. Feeding the workers is more important than a festival.
Then maybe you ask someone with both feet on the ground.
I have a question. Then maybe you ask someone with both feet on the ground.
I need to conserve my strength.
Oh well. But we'll get to the bottom of this. Hey, Pekeho, right?
You need something?
Mukumi says you were caught. You caught Tamao stealing Koiki?
Akira.
He pauses and stares at you with wide eyes.
Tamau was creeping around the drying hut where we stored Kawiki for the ceremony, north of our Ranga's home.
He dips his head to gesture away, holding your eye contact all the while.
I grabbed Tamau by the wrist and dragged him to Makumu. We found all of the Kawiki were gone.
Pekeho Pukeho. Pukeko. Mean, how dare you, Luxie?
The snake brought this on himself, I say. Now Makumu will deliver him to Tangaloa's maw, where he belongs.
Pekeho nods slowly. Did you actually see Tamao with any Koiki?
Akira, it is as I said. Tamau was near the Koiki hut.
He blinks at you. A bead of sweat rolls down. Wow.
Stuffing his face, I say.
Who
And if he
Keko?
will not admit it in this life, he will pay in the next one.
You look awfully nervous, Pikachu. He opens his mouth to retort, but closes it and hangs his head.
It is said the gods piss on the souls of liars before sending them back to Eora's krill. Tamau stole no Koiki. Kahopa must have made Tamau from sand lice, because he gives nothing to the tribe, only takes.
Did you steal the Koiki?
No! Akira, I did not do this. I provide for the tribe, not like that louse Tamau.
He wrinkles his nose and looks away. I can see why you'd want Tamao out of the way.
Akira, I say Tamau is guilty even if he has no Koiki juice on his hands.
That's not how this works, buddy.
He hates the tribe. Pity and charity fill his belly and shell pouch, and he has not strained a muscle to serve anyone but himself.
Pikachu balls his hands at his sides. Oh, I've got to do that, Larksy, thank you. Then who stole the Koiki from the drying hut?
Knowing this does not bring the Koiki back to the drying hut, but it will help to heal the tribe.
Wouldn't Mukumu accept your attraction without Koiki to prove it?
No. He wants the Koiki and the guilty. So do we all, I say.
Not Takehu?
I cannot say if the true thief covered their tracks, since Mukumu never looked for clues.
Pikachu shrugs and calmly brushes sand off his foot.
But the drying hut? Akira, in his sandals, this is where I would look.
Oh well. So who stole the Koiki from the drying hut? Who, me? Yes, you. Couldn't be. Then who? Then he stole the Koiki from the drying hut.
Step back, all of you.
This could only be good. Wearing a metal hat. The broad-shouldered armoire at the center of the huddle takes a cautious step back. His gaze never breaks from the tribesmen who have him surrounded, and his hands never stray far from his weapons.
You've all got the wrong idea. I'm waiting for a shipment of sailcloth from the homeland. Is that going to be a problem?
His expression turns stony as the implied threat crosses his lips.
Then what say you about this? Coded gibberish, or I'm an Orlin.
Someone from the crowd tosses a sheaf of papers to the ground by Harama's feet. The assembled tribesmen mutter their assent.
Damn it. He's about 2 seconds away from starting a brawl. I've got to step in.
What's wrong with saying metal hat? Like, it may not be as accurate as saying helmet, but it certainly gets the impression across. Look at that! That looks like a hat more than it does a helmet. I know it's not the official definition, but I always imagine a helmet as something that covers the face, or at least attempts to. No, that's not true. You know, Larksy is right. It looks more like a hat than it does a helmet. It looks more decorative than defensive, so I called it a hat. Anyway, I'll follow your lead. She clears her throat loud enough to turn heads in the direction of your party. No helmet, no play, no brain damage.
One against a mob isn't exactly even. Ever heard of a fair fight?
Maya cracks her knuckles and rolls her shoulders. That's not the approach I would have taken.
Ha! Company warships blow our canoes to splinters, and you call us unfair? You foreign imps are all the same.
Maya, did warships blow up? Let me get my straw helmet while I put on my bike hat. God damn it, comrade. You may have me there, actually. Turning to you and Maya, Haruma gives away no recognition other than a flicker of gratitude. An angry mob is my least favorite mob. Let's say, what seems to be the problem here?
As surely as sharks circle spilled blood, this one has been casting an unwelcome shadow on our village.
One of the villagers steps forward and gestures to Haruma.
We found coded documents in his quarters, and he defended himself with lies. Outsider spy.
Mutters of assent rise in volume from the assembled villagers. What makes you think it's anything nefarious?
Because Rauatai hungers after these isles like a tiger lurking in the tall grass and whetting its chops.
If you townies are dumb enough to go blundering into an alpha predator, you deserve what's coming to you.
Maya... Anyway, Maya squares her stance and shakes her head.
Who are you to speak in his defense? And who is your traitor friend who postures like she is not one of us?
Jeers and rude gestures fill the air, many of them aimed at Maya. Juana, good. I've done good by your people. If you don't remember my face... Whispers spread among the group as the fighters struggle to recall from where they recognize your features. You hear the muted ripple of agreement smother their suspicion.
Harama, we will have eyes on you. Cause no trouble.
The leader of the gang points from his eyes to Harama's and signals the rest to depart. I mean, that's true. Cause no trouble, dude. Don't fucking start a fight.
I owe you thanks for that, stranger.
A big Rauataian stands at ease and looks you up and down, nodding with approval.
Now here is a welcome sight.
He turns to face Maya and a smile brightens his features.
Is that little Ashiza? Hop over here, you old terror.
Harama opens his arms and Maya's bird darts enthusiastically closer, pecking at Harama's shins.
Ishi town. You don't know where he's been.
Maya arches her brow, smiling in spite of herself. Don't I get an introduction?
Captain, this is Harama. We were shipmates on the Flying Buttress.
She nods to him, their eye contact lingering an extra moment.
That's a word for it. You could also say we were...
Loyal servants of the homeland.
Maya!
That's enough out of you.
Previous lover, how dare you? Maya touches her brow and shakes her head, hiding the hint of smile.
Afraid this isn't a social visit. This comes from up high.
She passes him a roll of parchment. His demeanor hardens the moment he unseals the missive. Foaming his tongue over his teeth, Harama lifts up the parchment to view it against a light source.
Atsura's up to his tricks again, I see. Thank you, Maya. I've been waiting for this.
That sounds malicious.
Maya, why is he asking?
Harama squints at you, hesitating to say more.
Captain, later. I promise we can discuss it later.
Okay.
I guess we're done here. It's been, well, sort of like old times.
Yeah, hit us up, comrade. What's the worst that can happen, right?
Especially seeing you coming and going again. When the dust settles, maybe we could...
He trails off, shifting his weight.
I'd like that. Ishi misses you something awful.
We should have hit on Maya more.
Say no more. Good luck in your travels and other adventures. Ashiza, you keep your feathers clean.
He salutes Maya and steps back with a wink. This is woven from kauri reeds, a hardy but flexible material smelling of sea salt. The bell's reliefs have worn smooth in some places and crusted with patina in others. The statue depicts a voluptuous woman with the head of an anglerfish. The paint is thick as if freshly applied. Love me a sexy fish. That's my favorite kind of fish. Yeah, that's right. Problem, it's a deep, satisfying boom when you strike it. Yeah, but how are we to know before?
Ishi.
It's an interesting question. The drying hut. Shrine, quarry hut, cage. Communal storage hut. Stained kauri reeds, eh? Rauataians are colonizers, absolutely. Taina. The seasoned Juana woman rests her elbow on the drum like it's the only thing keeping her upright. She pats the hide skin, the percussion no more effortful than a sigh. She opens her eyes as you approach. Blinking, she crosses her arms and regards Takeru with a patient, expectant look.
Tiana, what a surprise.
I say, I could not find you after Yoranga moved the tribe.
He steps forward and clasps her hands, smiling warmly. She pats his hand before calmly pulling away from his touch. Takeru blinks and clears his throat, looking elsewhere. Ouch! You gonna be okay, Takeru?
Ikera, I say, my soft fish heart can take another callus.
He smiles, wanly. She nods at you smiling and rests her palm on the skin of her drum. What do you do here? Tipping her head to the side, her mouth curves up a cautious smile. She touches her brow with 2 fingers, and she gives the drum a pair of playful taps. That may have been an introduction. You know anything about the tribe's missing Koiki? Frowning, she sweeps a hand out to gesture at the Thai village at once. She shrugs. Her hand wanders toward her belly. She sighs through her nose. What do you do here? Exaggerating her movements, she shields her eyes and scans the horizon. She points off at the distance, kicks up her legs with youthful glee, and pretends to pound on the drum with wild, enthusiastic beats. Shrugging, she lets her hand fall to her sides once again. Oh well. Not asking her, does she speak? We know the answer. It's pretty obvious. No, she doesn't. And that doesn't stop her from having a very useful, interesting, and overall additive position in the tribe. So there's no reason to ask about it. The same way, one of the main characters in a game Dead Man is playing doesn't have any legs, right? And like, while we bring it up all the time, we don't need to ask, hey, why don't you have legs? This is a joke. You just need to watch all of Dead Man's streams to get it. Man, without Takeru there, you can play the drums with her? Wow, that's fucking sick. But on the other hand, we did get to watch him strike out, and that's very funny to me. What does Rongi go out to the beach in the middle of the night? Rongi?
What do we have here?
This armor man seems lost in thought. His clothes are neat and clean, but he's tugging on the fringe of his sash, which he is worried into a long, loose thread. He looks up at you, his bleary eyes suddenly sharp and alert.
What say? You are new to Tikawara?
He nods, looking up and down. Yeah, I do like Takeru. He's a, like... He's an artist who is hiding his own insecurity through obvious and exaggerated flirtatiousness, voiced by Travis Willingham. Why wouldn't I love that character? That's fantastic. He nods, looking up and down. Do you know anything about the missing Koiki fruit?
Only that Tamao was slept like a fat tortoise, while the rest of us chew on reeds to fool our bellies.
Rongi folds his arms. Rongi... Tamao is tied to a post and being threatened with a stabbing in the heart, dude.
Akira, no one could be less surprised. Tamao had this coming.
You don't seem particularly upset about it?
Guilty or no, being tossed to the waves is what Tamao deserves. I have no tears for him. He complained until the Ranga gave him my finest mats, and then left him out for the sport of beasts. Let the gods sort him.
Luxy's got the point there. He's also got big dick energy, which is doing a real number on me. So, lol. Yeah. So even if Tamao is innocent, you don't care. Sorry, Rongi's lips curl back, but he holds his composure steady.
The tribe has challenges enough without Juana eating from each other's plates.
Flaring his nostrils, Rongi glances away from you.
You overstep for a stranger, an outsider. I say you should go back to the shore that welcomes you.
Fuck off, Rongi. He turns away and says no more.
Eyes open.
Captain?
Here's the thing, Maya.
Aye, aye.
No, that's stealing. It's gonna be hard to get that, to be honest. I think we will. Maya's got decent stealth. If we have to, we'll use Thieves' Buddy. Go. And not spotted, not spotted, not spotted. Great! On the Provenance and Ruination of Nekataka's city. That's good. Not particularly useful. So let's just take the money. Yeah, cool.
Captain.
I actually thought that would be
Captain.
something plot related, but no. Yeah, you've done pretty well rebooting. That self-confidence not overcompensating. Yeah, but there's also the awareness of your own attraction to others and being honest with that. I feel like that absolutely comes across. It's not just confidence. It's also being well aware of your limitations. Takeru has also said on a couple of occasions to us, I don't know how to do this. I'm concerned. Here's why I'm sad. And not made a massive deal out of it as well. Still flirts with people. And like, he saw her and he was like, hey, I haven't seen you in ages. It's been so good. And alright, I feel bad about stealing from a holy vase, so it's not. This looks like a smaller, older version of the statue outside. The wood is smooth and mottled with water damage. Nayuri. This woman is young, but a serious manner makes her look much older. Her nose and ears are pierced in several places, and her mouth is twisted in a scowl.
So the foreigners now sent Huana to enslave Huana.
She sniffs, curling her upper lip back. Wow, what a good start.
No one chains Takehu, I say. Well, except Rabuna.
He rubs along his neck and smiles, the shallow mark of a collar standing out in his flesh.
Shameless clown.
She folds her arms and stamps her foot. It's difficult to plunder when you can't reach the shelves, my lady.
Maybe not. But your kind have surprised me in the past. Outlanders conquer us with ink and paper packs as well as blades. But they conquer us all the same.
I love my sad art boy. I'm afraid you can't take it away from me, comrade. At least we can all agree that Adair is the best, and we should have made a female watcher so we could seduce him. So, oh, that's mean. Not doing that streetwise. Learn to fight or read the fine print. I'm not here to conquer anyone.
Akira. That is what the last bunch said.
She crosses her arms and glares.
Ruanu. He collaborates with the bottom feeders who went to Pokokahara for Adra riches.
Ruanu, huh?
I warned the Valians about Pokokahara, but why listen to the ignorant Huana girl? Now I remain. They are gone. Taken by the curse.
What curse?
Those who make for Pokokahara are devoured by Nagati, the trickster of the seas.
Oh, yes. Let me shout out rebooting. You've got an absolute fantastic point there. We're all allowed our own preferences. But I will discuss those preferences at length. Her hand strays to a coral crescent at her neck. It's pitted with age and it looks older than her.
As though they care what happens to any of us. Percamblanca. You are young, but not so young to be this naive.
Jesus, Pelagina.
We have cause to respect the gods in the Deadfire. Daughter of Amira.
He places special emphasis on the last phrase.
Dark clouds surround Pokokahara, and in my dreams, they swallow us all.
He looks at the statue next to her, her eyes bright with intensity. I do have a clear type in that nature, yeah. Just let me at Matt Mercer. I promise it will be worth his while. A good speech. Sounds like she's rehearsed it a little too carefully. Do you really believe all that? She sighs deeply, her bony shoulders rising like a vulture's wings.
We tell these stories not because they happen just so. We tell them for what they mean.
Yes, Matt's sad inside, I assure you.
Our Rangosphere makes him too trusting. He believes the Valiant traders will protect us if they settle here and mine Pokokahara.
Yes, Liam's got points in that direction, and it kind of overshadows Matt, but I assure you, that man is insecure in a way that I could put to rest for an hour or 12. She closes her eyes and shakes her head.
They will. It is what the company has done throughout the Eastern Reach. Why not here?
Thank you, rebooting. I feel vindicated. Yeah, and Emma's hit the nail on the head there. And obviously I understand what that's like, you know?
So the villagers pour their sweat into the sand, building a trading post on a barren island.
What do you think will happen? Yeah, we're not from Adia.
If more Valians come? Akira, The same thing that has happened with every other foreigner.
She waves a gangly arm in the air.
They will kill us, rob us, enslave us. And we will be too busy building their halls and sweeping their docks to fight.
She bites her lip in a bitter frown.
You are known as a friend to the Huana. If you did not win our favor to simply profit from us, then prove it now.
I absolutely have my celebrity crushes. This feels bad given I'm saying it on Twitch, but like... Oh, comrade, how dare you, right? Yeah. Yeah, I know, Reboot It, and I'm in the same boat. Whenever I push that aside for a bit of time, it feels great, but it's never permanent. My psyche has likened it to that and other esteem issues as a bucket that's filled with holes, and I can fill it from compliments that people give me. But the problem is that there are holes in the bucket, and until that is dealt with, it's just going to need refilling over time. It's an apt metaphor. It doesn't specifically give me the flex tape who plugs said holes. Yeah, like so we've also discovered plugging holes didn't solve the problem either. Despite how much practice and skill I may have gained in that area. So we are taking a break. Oh, look, I'm pleased. Yeah, your crude joke. Okay, so Matt Mercer at one point mentioned a tweet, right? That was just a reply to Taliesin posting a business card. The business card was for a local kink club that was very exclusive, and I needed to spend hours researching it to find out. But as always, I have a multiple skill bonus to anything that applies to specialty sex and sexuality. So I did enough searching, and I managed to find the kink club and not score myself an invite, but certainly find myself through the pre-screening processes. For I was confident enough to know that yes, this is in fact an LA-based kink club, and Taliesin was subtly referencing it. Matt welcomed Taliesin. In your most devious and enjoyable daydreams, what role would you put dear Matt Mercer? How would that influence those daydreams? Because I've given it some thought. Now, we're talking about a person, and that's a little icky, but I'd ask you to instead examine only the public figure that is shown to you, and don't imagine him as a real person right now, because once we're starting to classify and categorize an absolute individual, a real person, it becomes much more creepy than talking in the abstract. A little bit of flirtation, a little bit of examination, a little bit of personal fantasy. Rebooting. I think your brain went to the same location mine did as well. Yes, his own right to privacy and respect, but also we're all horny, right? Absolutely. It's when it interacts with the person that we have an issue, correct? If any of you at him or any other member, like public figure or something similar with your own horny daydreams, I will look unkindly upon that action. Do not integrate people. No. Do not invite people into your own fantasies unless you're pretty certain they want to be invited. The foot fetishist who works in a high-scale shoe store is fine until anyone is aware that he's a foot fetishist. Anyway, yeah, Amy was right. I love those interviews, and that's also why I particularly enjoyed learning to make good cocktails. And I really like Brian and it is a shame he left Critical Role because every now and then he'd say something not perfectly aligned with. Dead man, nice to see you. Did I summon you by mentioning feet, and yet somehow I'm the one with the reputation for the foot fetishist? Ha 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 ha. Anyway, let's continue this conversation instead of talking about hot people on the internet.
If you go to Pokokahara, I say the best thing is to destroy it for the tribe.
Her brow raises sharply as she studies your reaction. Like, yeah, but now, like, you're back. Your text is appearing purple on the screen, so on the chat logs, everyone sees that you have reappeared, and we're all celebrating your presence. Yeah, exactly, Rebooty. He gets into a lot of Twitter fights, and they're like, dude, could you not? And then, like, and so he said, fuck it, and then he kind of left. He's doing cool stuff, but, like...
It's always destroy. It's never renovate.
When the Ahhhh is gone, the Valians will dig somewhere else, leaving us to point our canoes toward more welcoming shores.
How do you expect me to consider to destroy Luminous Adra?
If I knew, then I would go myself.
Yeah, of course they're clearly good friends. Says someone who hasn't finished Campaign 2, let alone Exandria Unlimited, or the one with fucking Brennan, and I really should get on with that, let alone Campaign 3.
Anything that is built can surely be destroyed, Akira. And the storms are proof of powerful magic at work.
It's funny, because I like them and I like what they're doing, I just haven't watched it in a while. Ah, I'm a fake fan. We managed it.
Dispel this magic, banish it, whatever needs doing.
She brushes off her palms. Knock over an Adra pillar. To enjoy a challenge.
I hope so. And we did not speak of this, Akira?
She nods, but her eyes are still narrowed in caution. You hear that Ahhhh also had problems with outsiders? She winces as you speak the name. One hand strays to the coral crescent pendant. She forces it back down, pinning her hand beneath folded arms.
Ahhhh was the tribe's priest before me. And he was my father. Before he challenged Ruanu to a trial of waves.
He sighs and takes a hold of the pendant, gripping it in a tight fist. Ah, yes, high five for Comrade for that one. Kick your ass for gate kicking is very funny. And Deadman, I agree. Brennan is, in fact, incredible. It's funny that many people recommended, like, Fantasy High and failed to mention the Anarchist Halflings, which is a much greater draw to me. I probably have a greater chance of watching it now that I'm spending a lot more time working from home. It's just, I also when I finished watching the TV show Evil, which is on my server and is enjoyable. It's pretty funny, because, like, I started watching that primarily because I heard it was good, so I put it on the server. Some other people were enjoying it. Good. That's a valuable service. That's what it's for. I like making my friends happy, especially when they chat to me about stuff they enjoy. Fantastic. I love just sitting there and hearing about the emotions people go through when they're enjoying something. And then there was an episode titled The Demon of Sex. And I'm like, fuck you. Now I have to watch 3 seasons of TV just to see how that turns out. Surprise! It's good. It's a World of Darkness game. It's a Chronicles of Darkness game. It's not Hunter, though it could turn into it. It's definitely just a regular Chronicles.
But he was cast off. We are forbidden to speak of him.
Tell me about the Trial of Waves.
When there is an argument between leaders that cannot be answered, we turn to Nagati. 2 challengers risk violent currents, beasts from the deep, and waves that would dash them against the rocks.
You're a smart man, Deadman. There is a lot of content out there in the world, and it's hard to decide where you're spending your time. I already maximize it by watching something and playing something most of the time.
The winner, if there is one, has Nagati's favor. The loser, living or dead, is forgotten by Nagati and the tribe.
Her gaze turns downcast. Why did Ahhhh challenge Ruanu to a trial of waves?
My father knew the traders are as dangerous as pirates and slavers, perhaps more, because they grow strong in Nikitaka.
See, here's the thing. Like, making fun of elves makes sense when they're treated as they're... Alright, first off, let me classify this. I like elves, so... The common answer when you're pointing at a, pointing at an established better race in a trope is to be like, I'm going to tear it down and it's funny to make fun of it. And I get that. That makes sense, right? And it's fucking cool. but I like elves. So the taking down of elves, the 30 minutes long, it's probably really funny and very good. Will it get my defensive hackles up being someone who is known as an elf enjoyer? I don't know. I hope not. I hope I can enjoy it. It really depends on what take that it is, you know? I prefer elves to be wafy and not Mary Sues, I guess. And a lot of times, especially Tolkien elves are very Mary Sues, you know? Mostly angels. Jeez. Oh, comrade. Here's the thing, dude. It is good. It is a fucking good choose your own adventure novel. Not a game, right? Well, it is a game. I enjoy that part, but it's absolutely a choose your own adventure novel. And you don't particularly like World of Darkness or Chronicles either. So, like, if you're not going to get really teeth deep into the game, then, like, buy it if you've got some spare cash and want to send it to a writer, you know? But the game aspect, I gotta say, I'm playing it less when I'm not reading it out loud. It is more fun to read a novel to all of you. Anyway. Rebooting, that's a beautiful story. Good Society, based on Good Society. Fuck, I hope they got a shout out to Haley and the other story brewers, because they wrote an amazing game. It doesn't interest me at all, but I can recognize fucking brilliance when it appears. Give me a Vampire the Masquerade CRPG? They did. It's Bloodlines. Bloodlines 2 is coming. Probably. 2023. Yeah, Bloodlines 1. It's Vampire the Masquerade. It's a CRPG. So not tactical. It is first person. It moves to third person when you pull out a melee weapon. The combat is not amazing, but the world is perfect. Yeah, so what? It's still a CRPG. It's roll to attack, Morrowind style. Click and swing. It sees whether your stats are good enough to attack. You can resize your tits. My favorite. I recommend people doing that in real life too. Mouth becomes a hard line. Her eyes for a moment look distant. Dead.
So, when the expedition came, he begged Rowana to send them away and move the tribe to another island.
Her knobby knuckles pale as she squeezes the pendant.
Ruanu? He did not listen. And Ahhhh was done talking.
What does it mean to be cast off?
It means the tribe must forget him.
She winces.
The Ranga divided his possessions among the other Mataru, and now we do not speak of him.
She swallows, still looking away. I see. Yeah.
Ahhhh goes to his next life, but forgotten, he goes to a different tribe.
She hangs her head. Ooh. Roll to hit the first person games. Yeah, exactly. Like, but whenever someone recommends Bloodlines, and I do it all the time, right? What happens? Oh, Captain the Kitties hugging the Good Society rulebook. Please find that, Emma. That sounds great. I don't know. Dimension 20, I don't dislike it. I certainly would like it. I just haven't given it the time investment it deserves yet. I'll get to it. Yeah, rebooting. Like, I understand the joke. The joke hasn't aged perfectly well. What I actually recommend with Bloodlines 1 is recognize that the combat, the gunplay and the melee weapon play is not the best part of the game. The same way I don't think we pick up like Doom counts. Wolfenstein 1 does not. It's a game you play for the gun feel. Bloodlines itself was the first game released in the Source engine, and it shows. It was actually delayed a week, so that a couple of days, so it would not be released before Half-Life 2. Right? But it's still worth playing. It's fucking fascinating. You just recognize that when you get into a fight, it's not going to be the most engaging fight you've ever played in roleplay in a computer game. As for Deadman, can you use Neverwinter Nights to make Vampire the Masquerade? It's just that the Neverwinter Nights engine doesn't have any way to customize. Like, you'll be using the 3.5 set rules. Do you make everyone a vampire template and increase the challenge rating a lot? I don't think so. I think that's a clumsy way of doing it. That's going for the word vampire over the actual feel. Instead, make it so make the race vampire. It's a better rule set to work from. Yeah, fuck you. I don't know. As always, it depends on what you're looking for. The calculations in a CRPG, yeah, it makes sense. Neverwinter engine. There's more to Cook's World of Darkness. Dead man. I don't seem to think much of Runau's leadership.
He is Aranga. My own great aunt looked into his soul and declared him such.
Even as she says this, she hesitates, one hand clenching and a fist at her side.
I must respect him, even as he builds a village for our enemies.
Have you tried reasoning with him?
Akira, I have, and so did Anna.
She breaks off, looking down and frowning.
Anaharu. I must learn to stop saying his name.
Are you the priestess of this tribe? She nods, one finger brushing the crescent pendant at her neck.
We worship the same gods as the foreigners, but sometimes with different names. This is Nagati, the trickster of the seas.
She points to the wooden statue. It's as smooth as an old piece of driftwood, and sun-bleached and water-stained patches suggest years of travel from one village to the next. Whoops, comrade!
Foreigners know her as Andra. To us, there is no difference.
Oh well. Okay, we learned a little bit more about the current politics of this village, and that's good. Yeah, and I agree, Deadman. It's just attaching the words.
That little bare belly.
Attaching the words "World of Darkness" to it adds a whole bunch of baggage and other expectations that it doesn't quite meet. It's not actually the system's fault. You can check out the chieftain, but do you think we've got enough from the stained Koiki reeds? Sorry, cow reeds. Inspect. A reddish, fruit-scented juice stained the reeds. I didn't realize we had to inspect it, so we're actually pretty lucky I did that. Wongi. Stained by a sort of juice, eh? Okay, got any more info?
You need something?
Nope. Somehow? Nope. We need the fruit. Is it in the basket outside of a hut? No. Okay. Real storage hut.
This isn't how I usually work.
Yeah. CRPG Shadowrun does work pretty damn well. Okay. I think, honestly, since we can't get into the hut, get inside the Kawa hut, let's just go inside the chieftain's hut and see what we learn. That would be better than making Bloodlines 2. It's just that WoD is not an action game. It straight up isn't, and if you're playing it like one, that's fine. Just
welcome to Tekawara.
It's just you should expect other things going on. Absolutely, I'll steal your shit. No, Balagini, you will get us caught. The wood is smooth under your hand. The totem looks to have been carved and painted recently. The many rips in this worn old banner have been lovingly stitched back together. Ranga Rao now. An Alma huddles in close conversation with the warriors next to it. He whispers in low, stern voice. No sooner do you catch his eye than he grins wide enough to stretch every muscle in his face. Does he like preventing systems? Yeah, and that's pretty funny. I think it's great. You do good work with it. You also write good systems yourself. Yeah, like the folk... WoD has a lot of rules about combat because that's when, like, when stakes are high, people are going to be more invested in finding a solution without, like, that is agreeable by default. We're all agreeing on this rule book placed in front of us, right? That's why we have rule systems. We don't just go, bang, you're dead, no, I'm not, dodged, right? We have a rule set that we all agree on. Alright? Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Fuck, that's a good game. It's just, yeah, exactly rebooting. Every time someone mentions Bloodlines, someone replace it. There are mods to skip the Overlook Hotel. You'll be okay. Especially tonight. But again, don't risk your health, you know? Just hand it to a roommate. Be like, come on, finish this part for me. I know what happens in here. I don't want to see it anymore. Fine. Keep it permanently installed. It's not a matter of cowardice. Raised heart rate is bad for rebooting. Yeah. It's a physical issue. It's alright. It's entirely possible Comrade didn't know or didn't remember. Let's not be too harsh. As long as we're all okay. Oh, calling Jim a coward. That's much better. I appreciate that entirely. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Okay. Getting... Good. I'm glad. I do want us to get along. Bloodlines. Getting me started on it. I'd love to, Deadman. It is a fantastic game that was beyond its years, stymied by a poor release, and being generally a hard sell. Like, you got to tell the greater gaming public in general, yes, this game, it's not strictly action, and it's not strictly an RPG. Also, it's not fantasy. Is it the real world? No. It is the world of darkness. It's something else. And, like... It's like, I could do that. I could play through Bloodlines, especially if, like, Bloodlines 2 is coming out. When we get a release date on Bloodlines 2, you better believe I'll be playing through Bloodlines. But I want to do Stranger Paradise before anything else. That's what Wednesday night is for. I'll do it. And I like Bloodlines a lot. In recognition of the mood, the tone, the atmosphere, it's just top-notch. They got World of Darkness right, and it's why a lot of people do like the system and the setting, because there is something very attractive about a world that they say so many. I would absolutely play an artsy vampire. I would absolutely. I'd pull out a Nosferatu and potence my way through every fight. There's something quite. The writers of Chronicles, New WoD, Old WoD, all of them are specific in stating that it's not the real world, and they say that it is in fact something that's quite a lot darker. And the acknowledgement that the real world is not this dark and vicious and gritty, it actually goes a very long way to helping me enjoy it, because otherwise I'd bounce off the relentless negativity. Now I feel like it's actually possible to go, things suck, but I don't believe our real life world actually sucks that much. There are systemic problems that need to be fixed, but it's not impossible. And Bloodlines went an amazing way to bring people into the hobby. It's just, I don't know, Troika didn't sell enough copies, which sucks. Their initial release was buggy. It was released a couple of days after Half-Life 2. Wasn't a great timing. Bloodlines 2 is a very excited, a game a lot of people are excited for, very expectant. I hope it comes soon. Won't, but I hope it does. I think it's very funny that the people who are creating Bloodhunt, which is another Vampire the Masquerade game that I enjoy, it's a battle royale. It's a Vampire the Masquerade themed battle royale, so you actually have to like battle royale to enjoy it. Don't jump into it just because you want more vampires, okay? The developers were like, it wasn't supposed to be like this. Yes, Bloodlines is a Source Engine game. It doesn't look like it, but it is. The developers were like, it wasn't supposed to be like this. We really wanted Bloodlines 2 to be out by now. It's not our fault. Everyone wants this like intense story-based role-playing game, and we're not providing it, and they're mad at us because we provided an action game. They're all like, we love vampire. We want bloodlines too, but we're not it, and we never said we were, and we were supposed to be coming after that. God, the pain of that, right? Imagine not just you're a fan really looking forward to this game, but your livelihood, the thing you're working on, your art, depends on that timing, because you know fans are going to be mad at you. That sucks.
Greetings, friend. Always an honor to receive guests.
He inclines his head and touches his brow. Bard. Anyway, Slam Shadows, Captain of the Wanker, at your service.
I would shower you with the fruit of our harvest, but the season is unkind, I say.
Oops.
Pococahara is restless. Even from afar, the storms tear our bounty up by the root and chase fish to calmer shores.
He raises his hand to gesture to the east. His hand falls limply to his side. I came from Pococahara.
What say? Could this be?
He thumbs his chin, seeming to pose a question to himself.
The Valians went to Pococahara for luminous Ardra, but their expedition does not return. As the storms grow wild, Tikawara dies around us. No traveler will land here if they are forced to eat their belts, I say.
Yeah. He absently presses his knuckles, worrying the blood from his fingers. How is Pococahara causing storms?
You are new to the islands. I would not expect you to know of these things. Our ancestors told of luminous Ardra, the bones of the Deadfire, breaching through the sands of Pococahara. Ngati raises her watery fist in defense of the Ardra. Valian or Huana, it is nothing to her who suffers in the wake of such anger.
The implication of divine providence, Palagina's right eye twitches in annoyance, the membrane flicking out and back. Fighting against it, she forces a weak smile and nods politely. Putting his head to the side, Radu mirrors the gesture with a full smile. He seems to be puzzling at Palagina's reaction. Metaphysics is highly unusual for Adra to impact its environment as you describe.
Maybe that is for what the Valians find it so fascinating.
Radu scratches his head and shrugs.
Their captain brushed off my tails like the buzzing of gnats.
Why not move the tribe elsewhere?
In our old villages, we were raided by pirates, stolen by slavers, and killed by Rawatayan scouts.
His head droops farther with each admission, as if their acknowledgement diminishes him personally. I want to finish this conversation so I can't get too off track, but rebooting. In short, bunny hopping is jumping repeatedly. In many, if not most, if not all, Source games, jumping at the right cadence increases speed and does not decrease speed to a theoretical no maximum. So it's a way to speed run through the game at very, very, very fast speeds. At very, very, very fast speeds, game engines, especially Source, breaks down. So you do not break through. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Comrade's got it covered.
So I brought them here, where the soil is too poor for kuiki fruit and the water's too shallow for great fish. At least we are in the path of Valian traders as they come and go. This is protection, prosperity, a future.
He nods, resolute in the idea. I hope the weather calms for you.
Akira, as do I, friend.
His brow creases, pulled down by a tired smile. I made it to the entrance of Pococahara, but I can't get inside.
Here. This was a token passed down from the Rankas, said to come from Pococahara in brighter days.
He passes you a heavy length of copper shaped in a spiral. Yeah, that's why we're here. We don't need to break our way in. Fuck yeah. God, I like being a respectful adventurer. So good. This looks like a seashell.
The Muzuma snail, a foul thing, yes? They eat through the dead faster than Tangaloa, I say. It is nothing the Kawaru would craft. The ancestors and their hobbies.
He shrugs, smiling.
If you need aid, Himurihi's warriors need only someone to bark commands and they will go.
He raises his fingers to his brow once more. Where can I find supplies?
The Valians left many crates with the dwarf. He hoards them by the beach.
Annoyance flickers across his face, but it's gone as quickly as a ripple on the water.
But we never refuse a guest. If you need sleep, Himurihi will show you all the villages contending for the honor of your visit. And if you need strong Mutaru warriors to fight at your side, then Himurihi can help you with this also. She guards the trading post.
Tell me about your tribe.
Our village here is young still, but we will grow when the Valians come.
Akira, like an ingrown toenail.
Ow.
For what does Nagati's chosen protest? Give Tikawara a chance to prove itself.
So sorry you're going to be shot.
That is for what we build many houses now, even a trading post.
He beams with pride.
We make Tikawara pleasing to the Valians. Then when they come for Pokokahara, they build their harbor here. They must.
He clears his throat. You don't seem to mind the Valian influence here?
Some tribes push foreigners away, but it is good to have powerful friends.
A frown briefly clouds his expression.
The company can be a good friend to helpful partners, even out here.
He nods warmly towards Ranu.
If the Valians come, they will build an outpost here in Tikawara.
His gaze unfocuses like he is convincing himself of every word.
And then we will have more to trade with outsiders than just Rongi's mats. With coin comes protection, friendship.
He nods vigorously.
A favorable arrangement for both sides, I say.
Doesn't seem like you have enough to support that many people.
You sure you want to question that? We never get nice ones like this.
Then we buy what we do not grow. Soon our pockets will drag behind us with foreign coin.
Blinks at you and clears his throat. Ah, comrade, my apologies. I should have let you know earlier. Back before Activision picked it up as a publisher, it was one of the orphan games that Steam would put up as a daily deal for about $1. Roughly every 3 weeks or so, it would be available very cheap. I'll put it on Is There Any Deal and let you know when it's real cheap, and it will turn out to be really cheap again. No one also at this point, no one involved in making the game is going to get any money from that purchase. You know what that means? Yes?
I say that in Tikawara there is
Attaboy.
Fire and...
Gurgle reverberates from the stomach of the guard standing next to Rauno. He grimaces and places his hands over his belly as if to muffle the sound. The Ranga shoots him a withering glare.
And a Koiki in every hand.
Then he turns back to you. It was all wide smiles and pleasantries again. Back to my previous questions?
Speak on, friend.
He opens his palm and waits. Farewell. Well, he's gonna die, accidentally. You'll understand more and why later, and I'm happy to go through it as we do Maya's quest. But in the meantime, we have to finish for tonight, because while it has been an excellent adventure with all of you, we have reached 10:02. Good God, 2 minutes past end time. Have to return on Wednesday night for more. No one has worked on it has been reported as the sex best. I mean, that's a plus. 10 out of 10. Pretty pleased, right? No, the accident is me. I accidentally killed it. We understand that it's definitely going to happen. Now, I wanted to shout out. I've shouted out Deadman a couple of times, but if you're free tomorrow, I do suggest you check out Full Security, who is probably going to be playing Ghost of Tsushima if we're aware. And that will be a lot of fun. Okay? Otherwise, I will see you Wednesday night for a good round of the first. Yes, the first time I booted up, actually, is Final Fantasy Origin Stranger of Paradise, right? I'm excited. I'm very excited. I'm going to play with my controller. I'm going to lean back. We're going to have, like, ridiculous masculine affair retelling of Final Fantasy 1? Fuck yeah. And we'll have a good time together doing it, alright? A new game. A game released this year. Fuck me. Otherwise, have a fantastic day, and I will see you later. Remember to tell the people you love that you love them very much.